Wow. Woo-hoo. Can't have that, bro. Okay. Let me fix this up over here. A little bit like that, 'cause I don't want too much of this. I think that's a good shot. I think that's a good shot. Focus, 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 focus. Double focus. Focus, focus, double focus. And audio is good. Audio. Let me see this thing over here. Well, I think right there is good. Let me just a little notch. And audio is good. Audio. I just get one light on the audio. But anyone will let me know if I can hear me clearly. I got two people watching. Yeah, all of a sudden the noise just came out of nowhere. Boom! I'm trying to listen to. Yeah. Wow. Holy moly. I don't know what's going on today. Today's crazy. If I put the light on, you want to hear this thing? Yeah, put the light. Wow. Something crazy going on today. Oh. I thought it was just his radio, but man, I put that light on, bam! What's up, Bobby? How's it going? How's everything? Wow. Man, to figure 2 nights ago, I was listening to this MFED, all right, but today is like noise galore, just the last hour. You know, I'm ready to go outside and check it. Maybe my antenna fell to the ground. I don't know. Wow. So anyway, hello everybody. My name is Danny. I am located in Yonkers, New York, and I'll be on for the next couple of hours, and we can talk about any related radio related or otherwise. You want to talk about anything? We got a live chat right here. We can talk. You know, There's a few. Well, right now it's one, but you know, we don't judge here. We just chat, and no question is a dumb question or anything like that, you know. Um, so feel free to join the chat if you're watching. If you have a question, ask. Also, I have an email. Let me put my email on my live stream. Danny Radio and Tech at gmail.com. You can ask me anything through there. Yeah. It's also on my about page when you go to my YouTube. Well, if you're here now, you're in my YouTube channel. My about page on the YouTube channel. My email is there. So you can always send me an email if you want to ask me a question, anything. If you don't want to ask here, I can read those also. Anyway, so welcome to the chat, and hello. I'm gonna try to pronounce the first name is Slizzard, Slitter, yeah, Sillard. I'm gonna pronounce it because I don't know. Is he Sillard Peter? And hello, Sillard Peter. Welcome to the chat. Okay, I'll call you Pete. Thank you, Pete. So anyway, Pete, welcome to the chat, and good stopping by. And yeah, I was outside earlier. I was messing with the NFED. I was gonna put the pulley system in, but then I actually installed it last night. Not last night, but before it got dark. Because now, 1 hour back, so we got shorter days. So 5 o'clock, it was already dark outside. So I put the pulley system yesterday. I left it on overnight, but I didn't like the way it was set up. And because what happened was it worked fine. The pulley works, but the problem is that when I gave it more rope, more paracord, and to put the pulley, it basically, if you look at my backyard, it was all another rope showing, and you can see it from across the street. And I didn't want that. In other words, it blew up my. It was stealthy before. With the pulley, it made it non-stealthy. It was obvious that you could see there was a rope coming from the tree. I can't have that. Plus, the rope was rubbing up against another branch at the angle the way I had it. I made a video on it. I'm gonna upload it probably tonight because I made a video on it explaining about that. So I'll probably upload a video tonight or early tomorrow. And so the pulley system was not going to work for me. Unless I had a post right there in the corner, maybe. But so I'm going to leave it the way it is. I just changed the what they call a carabiner. It's the little clip-on thing because the red one was old. It's been there for years. It was outside for a while. So I'm gonna buy a new one. Actually, I'm gonna buy a stronger one with a screw on, because I don't like that spring thing either. I bought two of them. One already failed. The spring. You know what? I'll be right back. Let me go get it. It's in the bag. Let me go get the stuff. I still have my bag, and I had it outside with my bag with all the stuff in it. So, see, this was the pulley I was gonna use. I had it out there, but again, I didn't like this is the only pulley I could have bought. There was the only one available. It's shiny, it's chrome. No, not good a way to conceal it. So it was right up the top of the fence. I didn't like it. So that didn't work out too well. And then I bought a couple of these. But you can see this one failed. Look, it failed. It's just crap. You see, it's supposed to spring back, but it failed. So lucky I bought two of them. So one is up there now. The other one, this is the one that's useless now. I can't use it. It's broken. So I need to get something with the let me see if I have one here. It's in my bag. I need to get something like this one. See how this one, you screw it on? One of these, this is stronger because I could just secure it and tighten it. And of course, I would like to get one in black. So it could be on that side, stealthy. And that'll be fine. This in black, a little bigger and in black. So I need to order one of these in black, a little bigger, and that's it. And I'm going to keep it on that side. It's a little windy outside now. It's about wind gusts up to 23 miles an hour. It's from 10 to 15. It's moving, but it's good. The way I have it right now is good. And like I said, on the other end, if I get a real strong wind, like if I know I'm gonna get something like storm type, anything over 40 or 50 or above. On the other end, I can just take it down. I can just unclip it and give it. I could bring down the end fed and keep it there until the storm goes by, and then I can bring it back up without sacrificing, without risking it to snap. So unfortunately, the pulley system is not going to work for me because one, the paracord is going to rub up against another branch, which I don't want because it's already rubbing up against the main one. When it goes up, when I ran the line through that fork, it goes down the tree, and that's how it is, right? So that it just rubs right there. That's it. It's the only part of the rope that rubs against the tree. I didn't want to create a second spot where the paracord would have rubbed up against another branch. I just didn't want that. That would have been too many points of failure or potential failure. Because anybody knows that if you, I have an example here of a paracord. It's in this bag. Everything's in this bag because I had it out. I went outside with it. If you take a paracord like this and you keep rubbing it against an object over and over, it's going to fail. It's going to break over time. And I didn't want that at the expense of having a pulley. And I thought about it. It was a little bit more necessary. It was actually a little more overkill to have the pulley. The way, because there's only one major branch that shakes. That's where the rope is at. So, and it from observing in the past, it sways about a few feet either way. So I think I have enough rope right now that it could withstand that. And like I said, if we ever get to a point, but not if it will happen. When we get a prediction like, oh, we're gonna get 50-mile-per-hour winds, I'll just take it down on the other end and won't even take that chance. I'll just take down the, with the backup system that I spoke about in the last video. I'll just take it down, I'll clip it, and I'll just take on the MFA and weather the storm on it, and then I can just clip it back up, without taking down the whole NFET completely. So, Peter, it's dark here at 5 p.m. in Europe too. Yeah, now the days are shorter. So that was the other thing. And then, of course, Peter again, is a storm Nicole approaching the area? I don't know. I haven't been following, and I need to follow that. I don't know. Because I haven't been following the anything lately. I know today we have a midterm elections here. I didn't even bother. I know. To be honest, I live in New York, so I know people are gonna say why you didn't. Number one, New York is like one of those states that nobody, it's just the majority of people vote for the wrong thing, no matter what. So I just say, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother because I was out there working on this intent. I say maybe after I get off the live stream, maybe I'll go over there. I don't know. It's right around the corner. Maybe I'll just go anyway. I don't know. But and yes, I had all these tools in here. And anyway, so this is the so the pulley system is not going to work because it's going to show too much. Yeah, majority always wins everywhere. Exactly. And New York State is one of those states that majority is a Democrat type thing, and so forget it. I don't want to get into that, please. But anyway, yeah, Peter. Tune in. What's going on? Yes, people. Yeah. So this is the pulley I was going to use. So unfortunately, I'm not going to use it. I wanted it kind of worked, but it was showing too much of the rope in the middle of the yard, on that side of the yard, and anybody could see it. Even from across the street, you could see the rope. So I can't have that. Especially now that the leaves are falling even more. There's no leaves left on that tree. You can see the sky right through now. From the last video I made, now if I point the camera up there, you can see nothing but sky and branches. So, I'm trying to, because I wanted to achieve two goals with this NFET. One, I didn't want the wire to touch any of the tree, which I done. That worked almost perfect. There's a small tip of the wire that does touch a little branch, but it's nothing. It's nothing. And two, I want it to be stealthy, especially where the rope is going up to the dog bone insulator, where the two meet. And that's pretty stealthy the way it is. From outside, you can't see that rope because the tree blocks it from that view. So that worked out perfect. So when I did the pulley, it brought out the rope to where you could see it outside. And I just can't have that. I just can't, because then a lot of people see it. That I have a rope going up to the roof, to the roof. I have a rope going up to the tree, and then there's another wire coming on the other side. Then they'll say, okay, this guy's doing something, and we're going to call it in. And again, I just don't, I'm trying to avoid that. Now, if it would have been my tree, I could care less, but it's not my tree. It's on the city side. And then the funny thing is, the other day, I think it was Friday morning, my wife noticed there was two people out there in the backyard, all the way up there. They were, surveying. I guess they worked for the city, and they had the orange vest on, And you know, surveys, they have like this. It looks like some kind of tripod with some kind of not a telescope. It looks like a big camera or something. And they're you know, one guy's holding up the stick all the way at the other end, and they're taking. I guess they take measurements. So they're from the city because they were doing the whole survey of the yard, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna see the antenna. And then I think one of them saw something. He looked at the wire going up to the tree, the one I was on this side. But then they went about the job. I mean, they can't, you know, the wire's in my property anyway. But I don't know if they're going to make a notation about it. So I don't think they are because they survey. And I'm like, okay, now they saw it. Yeah, sir. Yeah. So because my wife said that she saw them a few weeks ago. I didn't see them that day, but she saw them. I think I was shooting a video. I wasn't in the house that day. I know I wasn't in the house. She said that they were surveying people there. She said that I wonder if they're going to build something because there is a lot of construction going on in Yonkers, and that area has been empty for years since I moved here. It's been empty. So I always thought about it. You know, they could take some of that area and build houses or building or something. I don't know. Which you know, 'cause right now I like it because there's trees out there. It's a nice little view. But you know, if they ever decide to do construction back then, build something, there goes the neighborhood. You know what I mean? More people too. You know, and there goes my infant if they chop down that tree. But and of course that guy's illegal parking too will be gone too. But they looked at the wire. One of them looked at the wire. I guess he just looked at it and just going about his business. So yeah, old man Milo. Hello from the Socialist People's Republic of Oregon. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Yeah, so in Wales on holiday. Okay, oh cool. Nice quiet condition up on a hill, 600 feet up. Okay, cool. What's going on with shortwave? Well, apparently right now you just heard. Oh, this is um. All of a sudden I'm getting a lot of noise. They just happened in the last couple hours, and really just the last hour. Even when I put the light on, 11,860. That's Radio Marti, but right now, a little fly going on here. That's it. I put the light is even worse. That does never happen. I have a feeling I know it's a corporate. The culprit. I think it's this extension cord not extension cord. Power strip that I just put in here. I think that power strip is gonna have to go. Because I didn't get this. Because I bought the power strip on Friday. I had it over the weekend, but I wasn't getting noise. And today I'm getting noise. But if I go down to the medium wave band, well, you know what? Let me try. Yeah. So is on that particular on shortwave, I'm getting the noise because this is medium wave and I'm fine. Normally, if I usually get noise, it goes across the board all the way down to medium wave. I'm not getting noise on medium wave, only on shortwave when I was at 11,860. So I'm thinking maybe something else. I don't know. I'm gonna put the light on, see if it fixes medium wave. No one says a word about that contract because he's David White. Is it? They have to keep him. So it's definitely shortwave bands. I'm getting noise right now. Hey, you know what sucks, bro? What's that? I feel alone. So yeah, so it's definitely definitely it's a shortwave. It's shortwave frequencies that are being affected right now. Um, of course, I'm no expert in geomagnetic stuff and solar activity. Don't ask me about all that. I'm no expert on that. That's beyond the scope of this channel and me. But yeah, right now shortwave is for me. It's wow, it's bad. So let me go to these. Maybe some of the I'm sorry, some of the chat. Tune in 70 trees. Okay, yeah. Peter, them curious survey people. And what frequency? Again, I was on 11A60. But right now, whatever interference I'm getting here or activity, I cannot listen to anything on right now on shortwave. And I'm gonna get another switch box soon. Anyway, so I had this. I updated my setup. Let me just show you. So I put the Grundig. Let me put it right there. Grundig satellite 800 Millennium. I put it here. It's right here. And of course, I got my two other radios over here. And you can hear that noise. Wow. And so I'm going to keep this one here. And of course, I got them hooked up to this switch box. This hooked up to the end fed switch box. This one is going to this radio. This one is going to the Yaesu. And this one is going to my SDR right now. Sorry, my SDR. And then this one, I ordered a couple of these. I had to use these to replace them. So I ordered 3 of these cables, the jumper cables. They should arrive on Thursday. PO 259, 3-foot sections. I ordered 3 of them. So I can hook these back up. This one and this one to the disco. And then eventually I will do a second 11-860. Not 680, 860. And eventually I'm gonna get maybe a third switch for the MFJ. I'm kind of holding it right here like this, but yeah. So I'm gonna get a third switch for the MFJ, and then I'll figure out what to do with that. What to do with that. Of course, I do want to hook up an old radio, and of course, I put my boombox up here. My Grundig boombox is up there now. Yeah. So I think it's just right now, it'll go away. I'm not. But I know the end fed. Let me just focus. Yeah, Radio Marti. That's what I was listening to, Radio Marti. And so the MFED is working fine. I heard WWVB the other night. It was a couple of nights ago. About 11:30 at night. I said, let me go down to the long wave band. Because the first time when I installed the MFED, the first time I tried it, I went down to and I saw the carrier for WWVB, but it was a lot of noise. So I said, let me, I was trying, and that's what that's what I tell people too. Yeah, you don't might not hear it every night, but you keep trying. So I tried it the night before, and boom, it was coming in loud. It was like a S, but it was 7. It was a strong signal, 7, almost 9. That's the strongest I ever got WWVB. Normally with the loops, I get an S3, S4. High as S4. Yeah, and but this time was S7, S8. It was like, loud. I was like, wow. But of course, you can see a lot of other stuff that don't normally is not there. There's a lot of other noise that's there. A lot of I don't say imaging, but some other stuff that was there. You can see the way it looked at all. It normally didn't look that clean and just that's it. It looked at a lot of, but the signal was there, and that's how I say, oh, that's I already know the signal. So I said, yeah, WWVB. Wow, I got it with the NFET. And then I went down to 24 kilohertz. I went down to 24 kilohertz, and I got the Cutler Main, the submarine transmission thingy. I picked that up too, and it was loud too. So the MFET is works well on a lot of in multi-band. So all the way down to the long wave, all the way up to I heard UHF and that MFET. You know. So like I said, I'm not gonna tweak it no more. I think the setup the way I have it now is fine, and I'll see. I know we're supposed to get wing gusts up to 25 today, so I'll know if it can handle that. If it can handle 25 and 30, then I'm gonna keep you know. Now when we get a big storm, I'll just take it down. I'll do the other hand, unclip it. I can just take it down and it'll be fine. But right now it's holding up. So the pulley system, I can't. It's a no, only because it's just showing too much of the rope over here and is rubbing against the branches, and can't have that. And, because then you can see it from across the street, the rope, and it's not gonna be stuffy anymore. And of course, I was making a video today, and as I'm making a video, one of the workers from the welding thing goes right by. He sees me making a video, and he just looked real quick, and he kept walking. They mind their own business anyway, but still, it's like, okay, now I need to stop showing the antenna too much on these videos, because if I'm out there every day looking at a video, people are gonna know something is up. Okay, so tune in, copy from that USA, 250 kilohertz on radio. Yeah, it's a strong transmitter. And then Storm Nickel, I have to follow that. I haven't been. I'm telling you, because lately, um, there's times I go through that, I just tune out all the news, only because I do it for my sanity. You know, um, I'm into my radio hobby, but lately I just been listening to sports radio and things like that, because I don't want to hear all this stuff about. Because I learned that a long time ago when I was going through my depression. When I went to see a therapist. Yes, I did. And it's a good thing. And that's one of the first things she told me. She says, try not to watch the news a lot. Try not to watch stuff like that that'll make you, it'll trigger that. Yeah. So I listened, because back in 2001, of course, after 9/11 attack, there was a point in my life where I was very depressed. I was really extremely depressed. And of course, when you put on the TV, all of this is doom and gloom. We're going to go to war. Ta, 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 ta. And that doesn't help, you know. So, after a few years, I went to see a therapist. I said, I'm going to speak to someone about this. And for a few months, I went to see a therapist, and that was it. And yeah, and that's the first thing they tell you. Don't watch that stuff. Don't listen to that stuff. You know, um, I started doing other stuff. You know, And part of it was coming back to this hobby. That led to this, coming back to the hobby. I had to do other stuff to get my mind off of I couldn't find a job at the time, and this and that was going on. There was money issues and all that. It was driving me nuts. And so right now it's at that point where I just don't want to watch the news right now. So I know if there's a storm coming up here, now I need to just check the weather on that and follow that. But that's why lately I just said, you know what, I don't want to listen to especially now, of course, today's an election midterm here, and I say, you know what, I don't want to listen to all this stuff, because you hear the ads. I hear the ads too. So I just say, you know what, if somebody told me that a long time ago. Don't worry about the things you cannot have control over, or you do not have control over. So don't worry about the things that you have no control over, no say in it, whatever. And like I said, I live in one of these states where the majority is, I'm gonna say it, crazy people, and they just vote for the same stupid thing over and over, and they get what they deserve. I'm just gonna leave it at that. and I don't want to get. I don't want to talk. I don't want to get involved with that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to be around people like that right now. I just I can't deal with it, and I refuse to deal with it. So I just said, you know what, tune it out. I'll just tune it out. And yeah, so all right, let me get back to the subject. I'm sorry. Um, so I have to check on that, Peter, if it's coming up this way, and yeah, prayers for for the for anybody in the path of that. Peter, shortwave is our escape from the news insanity. Yep, exactly. That's why I listen to shortwave. I listen to some. I listen, and I've been listening to Alexa lately. I just put on Alexa. I go to the room. I say, Alexa, just play this thing for me. This whatever playlist. I like listen to music. Sometimes I listen to music for hours. I'll just listen to music. You know, it's my escape. Got an S3 on Marti outside. Okay. Uh, Glenn Densler, welcome to the chat. My new long wide with pulley counterweight will get test. We'll get a test on Friday as tropical storm comes ashore with 45-mile-per-hour winds. Okay, well, good luck. Hopefully it'll pass the test. Like I said, in my case, I got a backup system. If it's gonna go that high, I'm just gonna clip it from the other end. I'll bring it down, and it'll just part of it will be resting on the grass, and it could shake all it want. The tree could shake all it want because that infrared is not gonna come down unless the paracord for some reason gives way. I don't know, but I think it'll hold. Peter, it's good to meet nice people within shortwave. No news, no TV. Yeah, and there is some news on shortwave, but again, I try to avoid listening to someone else, especially in times like especially since the thing with the Ukraine thing. I can't listen to that all the time. I just can't. After a while, you gotta say, you know what? This is not good for me. For me personally, you know, uh, I don't want to listen to that. It just brings you down, and I try to avoid that. I just try to avoid that. And let's see. Tune in, logging that shack layout. Mm, I don't know if you meant loving that shack layout, but okay, logging. Okay. Tune in, guy. Nearly a full moon here. I'm sorry, I'm losing my focus here. Okay, got nearly full moon here, lighting up the okay. RX. Peter, most people I see outside are crazy. Yeah, well, there's crazy people all over the place. No matter what country, especially in this country, there's too many people that so-called and they I don't know they are entitled. They think they're entitled to everything. Tune in, Radio Marti on my 2001D barefoot outside. Okay, greetings from the West Coast. Shake like you mean it. Mental health. Yeah. So it's just some noise I'm getting right now on the shortwave band. It seems to be better, but anyway, let me go down to it. Let me see. Let me see what else. Let me try. Okay, I'm gonna try this right here. That's one thing I hate about that Sally 800 is that pop. When you turn it off, that pop sound. Oh, I hate that. It just drives me nuts. That's one thing about that radio is that the pop. Uh, yeah, I think it's just too early. I think another hour or so it'll. Remember, it's 4:35 here. Of course, we went an hour back, right? So, and it's already getting dark. It's 4:35 here on the East Coast, and so I'll give it another couple of hours, and I think it'll be fine. Hello, Anthony. Good afternoon from Florida. Hello, and welcome to the chat. Yeah. Excuse me. So anyway, Anthony, like I was saying, I'm gonna ditch the pulley system. I made a video. I'm gonna upload it tonight or tomorrow, explaining why. But yeah, basically the pulley system um is gonna blow up my spot more. I tried it from different angles, uh, and the rope just comes out too far out, and you can see it from across the street. You can see the rope, and I don't want that. I'm trying to keep it stealthy on that side where the rope is at. So um yeah, so and I did it yesterday. I had the pulley, I had it hooked up to a pole, and it kind of worked. Yeah, exactly. So this would have took away my stealthiness. And I was thinking about it, I was like, is it overkill to put this? But then when I saw the rope, the angle of the rope coming toward the yard too much, I was like, nah. Because the way I have it set up right now is if you're in front of my house and you look toward the tree, you won't see that rope going up. It's hard to see. You really will have to be fixated on looking for the rope, but you won't see it. So the average person is not going to see it. They're going to walk by my house and they're not going to see it. You know? No, I don't want to use fishing line because that's too thin. And that's too thin. That'll definitely break over time. Even the thickest fishing line is still no match for a paracord in terms of so the fishing line won't do. For long term, no, it won't do. So the paracord, no, and the paracord is fine. It's black. It's stuff. It's just the paracord comes straight down. You know, this is the right. This is the tree. The paracord comes right down the side of the tree. No problem. It's hiding it. It's hiding it. If I do the pulley, the paracord is gonna go this way. You see what I'm saying? And right here, people can see the paracord. They're gonna say, "Why is that rope going up into that tree?" And forget it. No, I don't want to do that either. I don't want to put Christmas because Christmas lights, you know, from of course from the other guy across over here, more interference. No Christmas lights, even worse. No, the way it is now is good. And then on that end, the wire comes down, and on that end where the box is at, that's behind my house. Nobody won't see that. So only in the middle, when they see that blue wire in the middle of the sky, and they say, "Where that blue wire is coming from? It's coming from the sky, and it's going to some other place." And that's it. That's the only part they can see if they really look at it. But most of the people that walk, I live in a dead end street. Most people that walk over here, very few people, they live in these houses. They just go in their house, and most of them mind their own business. But you never know. There's always one or two that, like I said before, for some reason they don't like me or they don't like this house with good reason because I told them not to park on my driveway, and they get a little personal when I tell them not to move their car out of my driveway. It's those people that sometimes you have to think about, because you're always gonna have people like that. I had tenants on my second floor and I rented out, and when I was evicting one of them, I evicted him because he didn't pay the rent. He owed me 6 months rent. So I'm like, look, you 6 months behind. You're gonna get evicted. That's it. If you're not gonna leave, and of course he wasn't gonna leave. So I had to eviction. So what he does, he reported me to the building department that I'm renting these apartments these rooms illegally. Blah blah blah. So an inspector came to my house, and he told me he told me what I was gonna do anyway. He told me, well, if you don't have a license to rent, you're gonna have to evict them. So I evicted all three of them. Actually, two of them. Eventually, all three of them went upstairs. I got rid of the whole floor. I had to evict everybody, everybody from the. But because of him, he brought attention to my house. You understand? Because he didn't pay rent, I had to evict him. He went ahead and said, "Oh, he's evicting me. How dare he? I'm gonna screw him." And then he reported me to the building department about number one, I'm renting it without a license, and two, I think he complained about some conditions, that we have mold and all this nonsense, which was a lie. It was all a lie. And of course, when they moved out, I fixed up the second floor. I repainted it. I remodeled it. I put new floor tiles, everything. And you seen one of my videos with the second floor room where I got rid of that guy and I turned that into a little shack for a while. Right now, those rooms are empty. There's two rooms that are empty. My brother is staying in one room, and I don't want to rent no more. I could make more money if I rent out these empty rooms. Yeah, I could, but I don't want to deal with the headache no more. I don't want to deal with it. My wife was telling me, "Oh, we should rent that." I said, "No, I don't want to deal with no more tenants." Especially after COVID, a lot of people took advantage of that. There was people that were stuck with tenants for 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years with tenants that didn't pay rent. And I didn't want to go through that. I said, no, 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 I don't want to rent no more. You know, my brother was living up there for about 4 years. He moved out last year. And I was gonna raise the rent, but not much, a few dollars, not much. He moved out, my own brother. He said, "Oh, screw you, I'm gonna move out." So he moved out. So I fixed up that room too, and that's it. I don't want no more. I don't even my own brother. I don't want him in here no more. Only one, my only brother's up there. That's it. My other brothers, you know what? Whatever. Good luck with your life. Bye bye. So I don't want to deal with that no more. And plus, my son is getting older. He's gonna take one of the rooms. My son is gonna turn 8. Eventually, he's gonna want his own room. So one of the rooms are for him when he's ready to go up there. Right now, of course, he likes sleeping with his mommy. So, and daddy's in the basement. Daddy sleeps with his radios. Daddy sleeps with his radio. My son is up there with his mama. And eventually he's gonna get his own room. No, we're fine. We're happily married. It's just that my mama's boy. My son is a mama's boy. I was the same way when I was little. When I was 6 years old, so I with my brother. No, I don't. I'm done with some of them. I'm done with some of them. So I don't get into that with them. But like, we're all adults now. At a certain point in life, if you're bitter about something, like you're jealous about something, that's on you. That's what I told them. You know. Yeah, he's gonna be 8 in next month. Better than the doghouse. Yeah, better than sleeping in the doghouse. Well, I have a detached garage. And I was joking about my wife. I was like, because she was gonna invite her sister-in-law to stay with us, and I was like, well, I'm gonna sleep in the garage. I would have had to hook up the garage and put all this in the garage, and I would have had my live stream in the garage or in the boiler room. I would have been relegated to the garage or the boiler room. That's what's left for me. I thought about it, but my wife is allergic, and also, yeah, not that I would love to have a pet, but I don't know. It's just I'm more of I was never a pet person. Growing up, I never owned a pet. I mean, I had a couple of my brothers have pets. It doesn't occur to me. I don't know. I had nothing against it. It's just me. Now if my son wants one, and my wife, then I'll say, yeah, fine, because we got plenty of space. We got yard space. You have run around in the house. I don't. It's just me. And I never pushed that narrative to own one. So let me go. Let me read up maybe a little bit. Wrap it around the tree, then wrap the lights. No, not that tree. Because that's the city of Yonkers. I don't want to wrap Christmas lights on a city tree. No, I don't want to do that. No, it's fine. The way it is now is fine. It's stuffy enough that is fine. You know, the only thing left to do now is wait and see how it behaves. Like today's a little windy. Yeah, I saw the tree shaking, but I see the wire shaking too, and I said, okay, so it's good. And I checked out the other side, and I saw the rope is moving a little bit. Yeah, so it looks fine. Okay, so it's gonna pass this test. You know, right now, like I say, I'm playing with house money. It's not my tree, but I'm using it and I'm doing videos with it. So you know what? Thank you, City of Yonkers, for that tree. You know, of course, I could grow my own tree over the fence and grow one, but I don't want to. I really don't want any more trees in my property. I like um I like the open space. I have a couple of small trees in the yard. And that's it. I don't want no. We had a bigger tree on that side one time. That tree would have been perfect for doing the sloper from that end. I could have done. There was a tree there when I first moved here. There was a tree there that was way above the roof. It was pretty tall. It was about 40 plus feet tall. The tree was. I chopped it down. I paid somebody with it, and he got a chainsaw, cut it down because that tree. The problem was it was covering too much of my yard, and that tree was the type of tree that had flowers in it. So when that tree when fall came, the whole yard was littered with leaves and the flower thing. It was too many. It was too many stuff in my yard. I had to be cleaning the yard all the time. I hated it. Plus, that tree was thorny. It had thorns. And what did it was my neighbor. My neighbor's kid snuck into my yard one day, and he climbed up that tree. And I went outside of my yard for a minute, and I looked up, and I see a kid. You know, like my son's age, 8, 9 years. He's about 8 years old at the time. The kid was, and I'm like, why are you on my tree? I came up here looking for my mom's parakeet. And I said, well, you need to come down from that tree before you fall off the tree and get hurt. So finally he came down. I hear him going, ow, 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 because the tree is thorny. I'm telling you. So I told the kid, I said, listen, first of all, you're in my property. How the hell you got into my property? At that time, I had a hole in the fence. I had to fix that hole in the fence. So then I spoke to his father. The following day, I told him, listen, you can't have your kids coming in my yard because first of all, that's trespassing. I don't care if your wife parakeet flies off the cage. You cannot come into my yard just like that. So we're gonna put a stop to that right now. So he agreed, and that was the last time. No, it was a bird, a parakeet, but it wasn't on my tree. He just flew. It probably landed on my tree and went to another tree, whatever. So again, there's no excuse for that. You don't go to other people's property and climb up a tree, because first of all, the kid would have fell off that tree on my property. You know what would have happened? They would have tried to sue the hell out of me. Okay? So that was number one. They would have sued, come on. They would have got one of those ambulance chasing lawyers. They would have sued me. And they would have said because I left a hole in the fence, I made it easy for him to come into my yard. That would have been the excuse. You know that. Ambulance chasing lawyer would have came up with some crazy excuse to say, well, if you would have, fixed up that fence, they would have never came into my yard. Whatever. So first thing I did is I secured the fence. Anyway, I had to fix the fence. I tied it up, wired it. Then I put that black cover around there. You know the black cover that you see on my fence? The whole fence black cover. That's it. I don't want people looking into my yard no more. I put a black cover on it. Greatest thing you can do to a chain link fence. Put a cover on it. That way you have people looking into your yard. And 3, the guy had a chainsaw across the street. Listen, because he was just chopping down a tree from his backyard. I said, listen, I'll give you $50 if you can take down this tree right now. He said, good. Okay. So he came over with his buddy and they chopped down that tree. And then I chopped it up and we chopped it up. And I used some of that thing for firewood for the last few years for my grill or for my fire pit. I used some of that wood. The rest of it, I wound up giving some away. There was a lot of firewood from that tree. And I chopped it down. I said, you know what? Now, in hindsight, I should have never chopped it down. I should have pruned it so he wouldn't be able to climb up there. Yeah, but you understand that works. But the problem is that these neighbors at the time, they were very now they respect me now because I went off on them a few times. When I first moved here, they didn't respect me. All right. First of all, they are Mexican. They claim they don't know English, but they know English. They like to drink a lot, so they will come to my side or in the corner and urinate. And when I put up the cameras, I caught them. So I would go over there and say, listen, and I spoke to the owner of that house. I had it out with him a few times, verbal. And I told him, listen, your tenants, you need to control your tenants, or I'm going to call the building department on you, because they're your tenants. You need to put a stop to this. And they have to relieve themselves. They can't be going to my house, in front of my house. I'm sorry, So after I threatened him a few times, he put a stop to that. And they don't even look at me. Whatever. That's another person. That's another people I have to watch out for. Sometimes they like to call. And we had issues with them. And the same thing with when the kid went over, I said I had to secure the gate and that's it. But no, there's some people like that they think that if you don't say anything to them, they'll walk all over you. There's people like that. When I moved here, my impression of Yonkers was destroyed. Because I came from the Bronx. I lived in the city, in New York City, in the Bronx. And you would think they're the worst. You would think some of the worst people live in New York City. I came over here, I was severely disappointed. I thought the people were more neighborly. I thought Yonkers was more neighborly, more friendlier people. No. The same old type people that I saw in the Bronx. If not worse. So I had the Bronx person had to come out in me. And I started telling people, listen, I didn't move in here to be your friend or your friend and your friend, but you will respect me. By the time I get through with you, you may not like me, but you will respect me. Remember that. And I told them, you may not like me, but you're going to respect me. And that's what happened. And finally, they respected me. It took a few years. They finally, because I would go out there and confront people when they were parking in front of my driveway. And I would tell them, you're not parking here, bro. You're not going to park in front of my house to shoot drugs and all that. You're not going to. And I would have it out with them verbally. And I would call the police on them and they would leave. And they noticed that. They say, oh, this guy is trying to keep the area clean. And I would tell them, I said, listen, you guys need to do your part. Because otherwise, this is going to turn into a drug-infested area if you guys don't do your part. So I put LED lights, the real 2,000 lumen motion sensor light in front of my driveway. So if anybody steps on my driveway, that thing lights up like the sun. Boom. What are you doing here? Before it was dark. When I put that light, boom. Now nobody parks there no more. No, I ended all that. I ended all that nonsense. Yeah, all the homeowners around here would tell me, man, you're lucky nobody ever shot at you. I said, well, God is on my side then. But I'm not going to let people walk all over me. That's not going to happen. I'm the type of person that's not going to happen. You understand? I moved here. I moved from the Bronx, which is I grew up in probably one of the toughest neighborhoods in this country. And I moved here. You're not going to walk all over me. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. So I made it clear to everybody. You may not like me, but you will respect me. At the end of the day, you're going to respect me. And that's what happens. So these people now, when they drink, they don't come to my side now. They urinate down there, whatever. I don't care. I don't, whatever, You're not coming in front of my house. You're not doing that. because they know I'll call on them in 2 seconds. I end that party. I called on them a few times when they were a little late and the noise will play music. I called them. I said, listen, they loitering right here, but all the how you hear the music stop. Whoop. There you go. And they know it's me. And I say, okay. So this ain't fair. If they want to get even with me, they can get even with me. But then they're going to do it. What they're going to tell me? Take it down. That's it. You know? What they're going to tell me? Oh, well, you have an effort. You need to take it down. Okay, take it down. That's all. Oh, and by the way, can you trim these limbs that are protruding on my property? Can you please get rid of these limbs so this won't happen again? You know? So that's the way I feel about it, you know? Again, you know, in an area where you have people that don't respect property, that's what happens. You know, people come over here and I have people park in front of my driveway. They're eating their sandwich and they just throw the wrapper right there. And when I catch them, I'm telling them, first of all, you're gonna pick that up, right? You're gonna take that with you, right? And I look at their plate already. I already took I took a picture of it, or I already have it in my head. Because if I see this car somewhere else, I guarantee you it's gonna be a little payback. Because the Bronx person comes out of me too with that stuff. If you think you're gonna play me, at the end of the day, you're gonna get played. Don't play a player. So yeah, so gotta deal with that. So that's why I gotta keep it stealthy. Gotta keep it stealthy. You know. Imagine if I lived in the HOA area. And you know, my wife doesn't want an HOA. We looked into a few communities in Florida, but 99% of them are HOA. Those gated communities, they're all HOA. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to live in no HOA. I don't want people telling me what antenna I can't put up. No, sorry. No, can't deal with that. Jim's radio check. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah, I like that scanner that you showed the other day. It's an old version of this scanner, I guess. The Uniden scanner. It's a pretty cool scanner. I like it. I was looking into something like that. When you posted that video, like a few days before that, I was this close to buying another scanner, an old analog scanner, just to have it in the boiler room because I don't have one over there. I wanted to get an old scanner, and the one that you showed, it looked like that one. There was one on sale on eBay, but the problem is the feet were really. It looked like somebody ate it. It looked like somebody ate the feet, the rubber feet. And I said, "Nah, I'm not buying that scanner." Plus, I had to buy something else that time. I wanted to buy an external hard drive that I needed for backup stuff. But I was this close to buying another scanner radio. Like I have enough radios already. I was gonna buy another radio, and also that there was another one that was on sale, and I made an offer, but somebody bought it. I was this close to buying the CC Radio 3. No, not the 3. It's the big one with the weather, the big LCD. So somebody was selling it for 20. No, it was 20. It was $40. $45 he was selling it. It looked in good condition, but the problem with the CC Radio 3, I think, is the LCD. They're known to fail. Like the LCD will eventually blank. It'll turn blank and you can't see what you're tuning. So I put on the watch list. And they already had 2 watches on it. So I said, I'm going to put on the watch list. So I looked around for other stuff. I was like, let me see. Because I was thinking about buying a scanner, another scanner so I could have it in the boiler room. So I went back to the CC radio, and it was gone. Somebody bought it. The CC radio, is it 3? No, 2. That's the big CC radio with the big display, and it has weather. And that one is a real good AM DX and an FM DX radio. And I could have got it for $40. And it was a Sangean brand too. And I could have bought that radio for under $40, so around $40. Because I was gonna make an offer, but somebody bought it. Somebody paid the price for it. I was like, damn. I said, you know why? It's not meant for me to own it then. Because I didn't want to buy that. I wanted that radio for a long time, but I was afraid of the display. Because that radio has a major flaw with the display. The display, I heard some radios after a few years, after a couple of years or whatever, the LCD, the LED, what is it, LED? It gets blank, and that's it. And you know, you can't see what you're tuning. You can't see any. The LCD's all blank. So that was the only thing I didn't like about it. That's why I never bought a new one, because of that. That's a major issue with that radio. But I heard that radio is a great radio for AMDXing. It has a big twin coil. What is it? Twin coil ferrite and all that. But that was the only problem with that radio, was that it was just that screen thing is I don't want to pay full price for that. So when I saw this one for $40, I was like, man, I should pick that up right now. It's a good deal. And I put on the watch list, and I went to look at another radio too. I came back like an hour later or so. It was gone. Somebody bought it. And I was like, okay, well, there you go. It wasn't meant to be. So that radio, Jim, the scanner, that was another one I was looking at. But the one that I was selling was beat up. The feet were beat up. And I don't want to buy something that's really beat up. I try not to buy, you know, if it needs a little cleanup, I get it, because some people don't clean their radio when they list it. But I want the feet look to really beat up. So I said, nah, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to pass on it. It was exactly like this one, but like I think the one you had, the one you have. It goes 800 megahertz. It goes up to 800 megahertz. It's the same thing as the one I have, but it's the older. It's just the button. I think that your scanner has the dedicated police button. Mine is the police, fire, and emergency all in one button. It's a slight difference between the two, but it looks almost the same. So that radio that was selling, I was like, man, I was gonna pull the trigger on it, but then I decided, I said, you know what? Instead of buying another radio, man, I really need to get another hard drive for my. I need to back up, because I want to back up my laptop before I wipe it out. So I bought a hard drive external just for that, so I can back that up. So I'm gonna wipe out the laptop, because that laptop is gonna go in the boiler room for when I ever stream in the boiler room. I'll probably use that laptop, or I'll get another. I'll use one of my small desktops over there. Because one day I'm gonna stream from the boiler room. So, Jim's radio check. What's one more radio? Yeah, right. One more radio. Jim's radio check. The blue radio on the back, is that a Studebaker? Yeah, that's a Studebaker. I bought that radio for my son a few years ago, and he played with it a little bit, but then so I brought it here. I put it here. I made a video on that. Wow, it's like 4 years ago. Now I think it's like 4 years ago. Yeah, it's a nice little radio. I like the look of it. It's a nice little kitchen type radio. AM FM. Studebaker, yeah. Let me try now. Let me try this. It's better. Conditions ain't that good right now. I ain't gonna. Diesel 1001, what's up? What's going on? A long time no see. What is that larger radio behind your left shoulder? My left shoulder. Okay, so my left shoulder will be right here. Yeah, helicopter. SX25. Get this microphone. Let me just move the microphone away and still pick up the audio. Yeah, SX25. And this one below is the S20R. And this one is the S200. Of course, this one, unfortunately, I get the hum. I get the hum on this one. It powers up, but I just get that dreaded hum. And then SX25, this one works fine. Yeah, I made a video on this a long time ago when I first bought it. Yeah, I'm gonna do another video because they were fun. Those videos get a good they build up a view. They build up views after a while. I did a basket. I'm gonna do this one again soon. This one works fine, and this one, the S38B. I did one on that before. I'm gonna do these two again soon. And then let me put the microphone back over here. Yeah, they're nice, right? Thank you. And of course, let me take this Bloomberg one station radio out the way. My brother gave me a National NC88. Excuse me, NC8. What is it? Sorry, where is that? 188. Excuse me, NC 188. This one works fine too. I'm gonna make a video on this one too soon. But this one works fine. It's just I need to hook it up and I need to put a. I may use a soundbar as a speaker for these. I just need to splice the wire and make it long enough to go to over there. And then this one works fine. And then of course down here I got the Hammerlin HQ. Let me just put the camera. Put this. And then the Hammerlin works fine too. That's another one that works okay. So the Hammerlin, right there. Now this one works fine too. So I need to do I only did one video on this, I think that was it. But I need to do a video on this. And again, I'm trying to find a speaker where I can hook them all up, and I may use computer speakers or the sound bar. I have to run over there, and I have to set it up so I don't have to, because these things are heavy. You know how they're heavy to take it out and put it in. So this one I want to do. So this one is working, but the shortwave on this one is a little deaf. This one. But I only tried it with a 25 piece of wire. But I'm going to revisit this one soon. But this one is fine. The SX25. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a shootout on these two. And then maybe these two. This one and this one. Because this one is pretty good too. And then, of course, this one works fine. The S38B. Yeah. Yeah, I know. James Radio. I got so many radios. I just choose a radio for that night depending on my mood. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I want to take out the radio because I had this one in the boarding room for a while, and then because I had the two Macintoshes right here. I said let me take those out and bring them over here, and then of course down there I may put it back on that. I may take out that boom box and put the Zenith Transoceanic up there. Take this boom box out of the way. And that's a Grundig boom box. The RR1140 SL. Take that one out. And I got two Zenith Transoceanic, but one is working, one is not working at all. I get the hum on it, plus I need to string the dial and all that. So it's the H500, I think is the one that's working. I'm gonna put that one here. I'm gonna put that one here because that's like a suitcase. You gotta open it. So I'm gonna leave it open. And that one I don't need to hook up an antenna to it because it already has a whip antenna. I can just clip a wire to it, and that's it. And I could have that one there. And when I want to use the Zenith, I'll just have it right there on that window. So I'm gonna bring up the Zenith and put it there next. In a day or two, I'm gonna have it up there. Because I had that one over there and I brought it. It's down there now, all the way at the bottom. So I'm gonna bring that one. I'm gonna put it there. I need to clean it up and then hook it up there, and then. But that's another reason why I bought another power strip for over here because of this radio. Let me just show you. Because I added this radio over here. I put this radio over here now, along with these two. So now I added this one here. So I got a power strip for this radio, and of course I got these radios here. So I'm full of radios now. I got any more radios over here. So I may even clear this out over here, and maybe move this one over here a little. I don't know. But I don't want to reach all the way. I'll leave this one here. But the Zenith is gonna go up there. I know I'm gonna put the Zenith up there because I like that transoceanic sounds good. That one works fine, and I like that one. That's one of my favorite radios is the Zenith. It's just even though it's a portable radio, it's beautiful. And I have because there's two of them, right? I have one of them is the A600 or something. One of them is a slide dial. That's the one that's not working. I need to restring that dial, and that one has the dreaded hum. But the other one is the aviation one. It's the one with the rotary dial. I love that one. That's a beautiful radio, so I want to put it right there. It shouldn't be down there covered up because, of course, it has that. It's like a suitcase. It's wood, and when you close it, it's just a big black suitcase. So you open it. So I think it hit there. It'll fit perfectly. I open it. I'll leave it there, and it has that leatherette kind of black coating around it. It looks like a leather type coating they put on it. So it's a very nice radio. I like it, and it sounds good. And that one has a long whip antenna, but that whip antenna it will hit the ceiling. So what I'll do is I'll probably clip it to a wire. I'll feed it to one of these. I'll clip it into that and see, because that one has the whip and that one is fine. That one everything is in good shape. That's one of the when I was started buying radios. One of the first radios I always wanted was a Zenith. The Zenith. I saw that radio. I said, man, I gotta have that radio. I fell in love with that radio. Just the whole, because I grew up, with Zenith TVs, and so that name always for me was like a sentimental thing. Zenith. I remember the big Zenith stereos, the all-in-one stereo. Then I remember the television with it's like the console. They call it a console, right? It's like a big you have it in your living room. It's a big console. That was the slogan, right? Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes out. Yeah, so I remember like my neighbor across the street, my friend, he was my best friend at the time, a childhood friend. I would go to his house and he had the big console Zenith. And it had the turntable inside. You open up the thing and you see the turntable, the record changer. And man, I would love to have one of those now. Those things are a collection now. And of course, I look at Craigslist for that stuff. But again, I don't have room for that stuff. Somebody was giving away a few months ago one of those. But now it wasn't Zenith. It was I forgot what brand was it. It wasn't Zenith. It was another brand. I think it was Panasonic or something. And they were giving it away, and I wanted it, but I just don't have room for it. And it was in bad shape. It had I think one of the speakers were broken, and I think the turntable worked fine, but I think that one had a tape deck. Yeah, that one had a tape deck, right? Cassette. It had an 8-track. So that was a good thing. It had both. It had 8-track and cassette. And it had, of course, a turntable, the record changer. And then of course it AM FM, and then and it looked like some retro. It was this one was white. It was all white, like plastic looking, and it had the I think it was from the 80s. You could tell it was very retro type. But I had no room for it. I was like, man, I'll put that somewhere. I could play records on it. But I already have turntables. So I said, nah. Sometimes you just can't take everything. And Craigslist, if Craigslist in New York City, somebody's always throwing something out. A big city like New York City, go on Craigslist. Somebody's always throwing something out. Free stuff. If you type in free stuff on Craigslist, like pages of free stuff. Somebody giving away the gym equipment. Somebody giving away this. Somebody they need to move out of their apartment. They can't take it with them. Here, take it. And that's another thing. I don't have a truck. I don't own a truck. I don't own a pickup. If I would have owned a pickup or truck, I would have got more. I would have had more stuff here. Oh my God. I wanted a pool table. Oh my God. You know how many pool tables? I wanted to put one down here in the basement, a pool table. I want to play pool with my son, shoot pool. Jim's radio check. Yeah, that was one of the slogans. Yeah. Jim's radio check. You know what's a good AM? Yeah, the Super Radio. I have the 3, the GE Super Radio 3. That's the one I have. That's the only one I have. I'll show you. Let me show you. And I have one that people want me to do comparison with. Let me take this headphones out the way. So this is the realistic one. This is the, excuse me, get that out of the way. Yeah? This is the, I forgot what model is it. I think it's 16. Anyway, it's the Radio Shack version of the GE Super Radio. It's a high performance, it says right there, long range high performance TRF circuit, whatever. It says it right there. So this is like the GE equivalent. This is the Radio Shack equivalent of the GE Super Radio. And then I have the Super Radios right here. That one I have is the version 3. Super Radio. This is version 3. Okay, the GE. Of course, RCA made another version similar to this one, I believe. So I may do a comparison between these two. Because this one resembles like this one resembles like is it version 2? It looks like it, right? I think it's version 2. So someone asked me, it was in a comment that is that better than the GC? I don't know. So I should do a comparison between, because this one is pretty good. This one is pretty good. So I know this is a clone of the, probably rebranded, Radio Shack rebranded of, let me get this out of the way. Yo. So I know that they probably rebranded this one for Radio Shack, because it looks exactly like it. Even the back of it has the inputs and everything. So I'm going to look into that, see if I can do a comparison between these two. Yeah. So you got the 2. Yeah, the Prius. Yeah, that little vintage looking radio. Yeah, that's the Prius. My wife bought that. She bought that for me. She saw it on my wish list. She just bought it for me one day. I forgot what it was. It surprised me. I said, you bought this for me? Oh, how sweet. That radio came in handy when I had the blackout. I had a 3.5 days. I had no power. That was the little radio I had in the boiler room. I will leave it on, because that one you have to charge it. That one I will leave it on to listen to the news. The Prius. Where did I put it? I just put it right. Look, your little radio. Sorry, right here. Sorry. Yeah, this one. You talking about this one? The little It's cute though. Focus. Okay, now it doesn't want to focus. If I cover my ugly mug, there you go. Yeah, it's cute, is it? And it has shortwave too. See? So when I had the black guy, I put on this radio. It's cute. See the back of it right there, the Prius. Focus. All right, cover my ugly mug. Focus. Come on, bro. And then this one you can record. I got a TF. I got the. Oh my God! Come on, bro. Man, this is like okay. This focus thing is. I'm maybe because I'm shaking too much. They got the USB, got all that. It's a cute little radio. So when I had the black guy, I had this in the boiler room. You know, so you charge it, and I got the. Of course, you can also use it as a speaker, auxiliary, and you got a TF card, which is the SD card, micro SD card, and a USB. If you want to charge something, it's cute. So when my whiteboard, I was like, okay, it's pretty cool. I use all my radios. They don't. I just rotate them, but sometimes I'll use one for a few days, and then I won't use it for a long time. And the radio I want to use soon is I don't have no 8-tracks though. I have a Lloyd's radio all the way up there. It's from 1975. It's one of those little radio with a speaker, and you put the 8-track on top. But I don't have any blank 8-tracks at all. And for those of you who don't know what 8-track tape is it's like a cassette, but it comes in it's like a rectangular type cassette. You put it in there, and you only could forward track. It doesn't have rewind. I never had an 8-track that rewinds and all that. You put the 8-track in there, and you select what you want to play, and that's it. But I don't own any 8-tracks. I have cassettes. I have a bunch of cassettes. But 8-tracks, I don't have not even one 8-track tape of any type of any music, an 8-track. And I don't want to go on eBay looking for one, and And of course, like I said before, and in the past, Goodwill over here is a horrible Goodwill. So that's the only Prius radio I own is that one. That was because my wife bought it. I normally wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy radios. I wouldn't buy radio, Prius or Vitavis, whatever. Or now, again, if you guys want me, if Prius or Vitavis, or you want me to review a radio, just contact me through my email. I'll make a review on it. I'll what do you say? I'll give you some airtime. I'll review a radio. But I'm not gonna buy one. I wouldn't buy that one. My wife bought it. Like I said, because I have a wish list, and I think that was on the wish list, and she bought it for me. She bought that for me, and I think it was for my birthday a couple of years ago. She bought that, and on my retro channel, I have a wish list also there. So she bought me some Nintendo, what it was, some controllers for Nintendo or something. Because when I got that in the mail, no, she bought me the system, the game system. That's what that's why she bought me this. Sorry, let me go here. There you go. She bought me that. So that was so she surprised me because that was on my wish list. So she bought the gaming system, and I think the radio, and I think some Nintendo controllers. And I was like, wow, thank you. I was surprised. I was like, wow, surprise gifts. I was like, thank you, honey. Wow. So that system I use for my retro gaming. Yeah, they were pretty bad. Daniel Mark LeBlanc, welcome to the chat. The 8-track sound was the worst yet. When all you have at the time, all you could do is one thing is love. Yeah, that was because back then that was before cassettes were popular. I'm talking about like in the early 70s. Early 70s, I believe. I was a kid. I didn't even own a radio. My brother, because I remember my brothers using 8-track. And then around 1970, when I started seeing cassettes, I think it was around 1974. when my brother had when he had that sound design radio, he had a sound design radio that had a cassette. And then I saw the cassette. I was like, oh, okay, that's a cassette. I was like my son's age, 8 years old, when I finally saw cassette on a radio. And then 1976, of course, 1977 was when my brother bought that JVC boombox that had a cassette. And I was like, okay. So around 1977 is when I first started seeing cassettes on boomboxes, like 75, 76. I mean, 76, 77 when boombox, especially 1977, is when I saw radios with cassettes. That's when cassettes really, there was no 8-track was no longer used. But 1975, it was still 8-track. 1974, 1970, it was. I remember 8-track. Let me show you the radio. I'm gonna bring down the radio. I'll show you. Let me show you the radio. Let me show you the Lloyd. It's a Lloyd's radio. Man, this thing is dusty. Wow. And I got the strap for this too. This is the original. This is Lloyd's radio, 1974. It has a strap. I have it, but it just got rusted and all that. So I was trying to see if I could restore it. I think I washed it. Put it in the washer. I cleaned it. It's somewhere in the shop. I haven't folded. See, it has a big old speaker. Thing is heavy. Of course, it's kind of yellowish now. That's where you put the 8-track. Focus there. That's where they put the 8-track. Put the 8-track in there. There's Lloyd's. Yeah. This was a trash can, a trash find about 6 years ago. My brother actually found this in the trash. That and an old clock radio. I have it right there. This was in the trash. It worked. I put the plug in there. It worked. It worked fine. AM/FM works fine. It has a whip. It has a old tall whip antenna. Listening goes way up there. AM/FM. It was scratchy. Of course, I deoxed it. It works fine. This is to change the Let me see the button. Yeah. So this is the button to change the program. So you see this it's 4-track. I mean 4 tracks. Four pro. So this will light up, and you hear the first track, you press the button. Second track, third track, right? And of course FM, AM. The selector, everything faded up here though. There's a selector. This is I guess the volume. It is one is the tuning. Yeah, this is the tuning knob. This is the volume, and this is the selection. This is selection right here. Yeah, this thing is heavy, man. Oh. So I got DC 9-volt and the AC. So I wanted to hook this up. How many batteries this uses? Let me see how many batteries. I can still open this thing. Wow, this thing is. Woo. Anyway, I'm gonna try to open it. Forget it because it's faded. And then I think it's 4D. If I remember, I think it's 4D batteries. Yeah, Panasonic used to make these too. Like they had one that looked like a bomb. They had a handle. It looked like one of those, those you look at the dynamite, those detonation boxes that you pull the thing down and sends the signals of dynamite. I think that was the nickname of it, dynamite or something. Ain't that when you pull down the thing? Yeah, So there was a radio that had that. I thought this was it, but then I said, no, this one has a strap. So that's Lloyd's. That's the brand, Lloyd's. Okay, I got a better focus there. There you go. Lloyd's. Yeah, because the batteries, this thing probably weigh a ton with the battery. It doesn't have the batteries, of course. I don't have it in there because I haven't used it for. But yeah, this thing is heavy already. I can only imagine when you have the batteries in there. You need that strap. Yeah, so I don't have any 8-track. I wanted to try the 8-track. I never tried it out. So I will have to get the cleaner. Yeah, because those heads got to be, I don't know what, because who knows how long an 8-track been in there. Probably 40 years. Probably over 40 years since somebody used that radio for 8-track. If not more. 45 plus years maybe. Excuse me. Let me take a sip. Jim's radio check. I remember 8-track tape that will change tracks in the middle of the song. Yeah. So you hit that and it will just skip to the next one. Anthony France, time for dinner. I'll watch the remaining stream later. Okay. Anyway, thank you for stopping by and take care and have a good night. And Daniel Mark LeBlanc. I used to have an 8-track. Let me put this over here. It's too close to me. I used to have an 8-track set up on my old Plymouth Dart. Man, I felt cool. Yeah. Yeah, and they had that in the car. Stereo. Car radio, car radio. And yeah, you had the 8-track, And of course, they got cassettes. You could put them that way too, like loaded that way, Jim's radio check. My youngest brother had a boom box that must have been the size of a suitcase, and he had it tied to a rack on his bicycle. The thing was huge. Yeah, I wish I had a boom box. The biggest boom box I have is that one, the Grundig. But I'm always on the lookout for like a JVC, because that was the one that my brother had when I was a kid. It was a JVC. It was a boom box. It was a 4-speaker. 4-speaker cassette. Not even double cassette, just single cassette. Then they had the 2 condenser microphones inside, because you need to record in stereo. It had an equalizer on the top. But those things on eBay, they're crazy now. The prices are ridiculous. Even on Craigslist. Those things now, because they know they're premium now. Now people collect them. So, and there's a maker that remakes boombox. They're from the UK. I forgot the name. There's a maker that actually makes boombox for. They use I guess they have the design looks like from a but it's today's. But I think it's still over $300. So I'm not gonna buy no new boombox for $300. I don't know, because I forgot the name. Yeah, and that's how I got into shortwave, because the JVC had shortwave. I think it had 2 shortwave bands or 3. I'm trying to remember if it was 2 or 3. I know I was at least 2, and that's when I first heard shortwave, because my brother had a multi-band radio back then and it had shortwave. But he never let me use it. He would tell me, no, don't touch my radio. So I would tell him to, play, because the one he had the air band, it was a multi-band radio. It was like the patrolman type radio. But then when my brother Alex bought the JVC, he actually let me use it. He would tell me, like when he wasn't using it, and I told him, can I please use it? I won't break it, I promise. And then he was like, okay, guy, I'll let you listen to it for about an hour. And that's when I fell in love with that radio. I said, man, I wish I owned this radio. And that's how I heard shortwave. Because I asked him, I said, what's shortwave? So he put it on for me one time. But, he didn't know what to listen to. And then I heard the BBC. That was the first station I ever heard, was the BBC. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And that one had 2 antennas. Like the TV, it had rabbit ears. That boombox had 2 antennas. So you extend both of them and you pick up. Man, that radio was I love that. I wish I could find that. That radio, I seen it once on eBay, and they were selling it for ridiculous price. I think it was selling for like $500. Some crazy. I said, no, I'm not paying that much for that. No. I wouldn't pay that much for a radio like that now. I keep looking on Craigslist if somebody wants to sell it for like maybe or donate it, or just give it away, or you know, or something like pennies. And I don't say pennies, but you know what I mean, like $50, maybe under $100. That's it. I'm not gonna break the bank for those radios, huh? You know. Let me see. Daniel Mark LeBlanc. Holy crap! I had exactly the same radio back in the '70s. Oh, you had the same radio? Okay, that's cool. Wow. I had Jim Radio Check. I had a Panasonic player like that. Okay. Jim's Radio Check. Yeah, those. Yeah, look like one of those dynamite detonators. Yeah, the radio I'm talking about. I think Panasonic made it. I forgot who made it. And they had different colors. I think. I need to look it up now. Yeah, I one that was the shape I guess it had a handle, and it looked like when they made the commercial, they showed a guy like pressing it down and boom, like dynamite. I don't know, because that was the same time around. I guess they were trying to capitalize off of Good Times, the sitcom. There was a sitcom called Good Times with Jimmy Walker. So I guess around that they were trying to capitalize on that dynamite phrase. So they went with that dynamite, like detonator type looking radio. It was pretty cool though. I can imagine I could imagine how much one of those radios costs now if you want to look for one, if you're not sentimental stuff. But this radio, somebody threw it out, and my brother took it. He didn't think it was gonna work. I said no, it was scratchy like hell. I sprayed deoxin in there, and it was good. Of course, it's been a few years since I turned it on, so probably gonna deoxin again. I need to plug it in and try it out. I'm loosen this. Why did I tighten it? Okay, there you go. Okay, I need to not tighten this. The pulley that I'm not gonna use. I might save this for another project. Maybe I'll do an inverted V, but I don't know. It's not gonna be on a tree though. It's gonna be something. Maybe I'll on a pole one day or something. So I'll hold on to this for something else. Inverted V or something. Was it inverted V or what is it? Inverted L type setup. I don't know. Dipole, maybe. Oh, but you can use it to string up a dipole. Hook up the balun, right? Put this up to secure this on a branch, and put the balun up there. I'll keep this for something. Never know when it comes in handy. Of course, I'm gonna paint it black because it's not stuffy like that, shiny. So let me see where I'm at. Daniel Mark LeBlanc they came in one with a black strap that you carry around on your shoulder. I remember it was brutal. Yeah. And of course, oh yeah, I read that. Yeah, so yes, they do have shortwave. Some of them have shortwave. And Jim's Radio Check. Yeah, now they make the radios the size of a Pop Tart. Yeah. Yeah, because now batteries, you don't need the big D batteries, and now you have rechargeable batteries they put in there. So yeah, radios could be, and also electronics is a lot smaller now, and transistors and all that. And Jim's Radio Check. I have two Panasonic ball radios. They are only like shape of a ball. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there was they had yes, and back in the '70s they had all these crazy looking radios. I remember seeing one. I remember when I used to go by like where it was. It was like a local store in the corner where I used to around my old neighborhood in the Bronx. And they had radios that were the antique cars, like the cars, like the old 1930 vehicles and all that. Like it looked like a model of the car, but it was a radio. I don't know how cute, And me being as a kid, I was like, oh, I want that. I want that car. And my mother would look at me, no, that's not a car, that's a radio too. So and back then I was like, I want it, but of course he didn't buy it, but and I see those all over eBay now. You know, antique cars with radio. As a radio. They made everything as a radio. I know Todderberg has a few of those radios. I think he has a Tropicana Juice radio. I think there was one of the Tropicana Juice. Or no, it was the shape of an orange with a straw. I think it was. Jim's radio check. Yeah, it was a shape like a ball, and it had a chain in it, like the ball and chain radio. Oh, okay. Yeah, all these type of radios. You know. Let me check now. Let me see how the right now it's 5:41 p.m.
Let God speak to me. And in order that he may do so, pause and meditate, and do not proceed to grasp the meaning of the verses as far as the spirit of the issue.
I can hear the noise, but it's not that bad now.
Read them again and again. And remember, it is good to read even those parts of Scripture which you do not understand, even as it is good for a child to hear his father's voice, whether he understands all that his father has to say or not. At any rate, faith finds exercise in knowing that God never speaks in vain, even though he be not understood. Hear the word till you do understand it. While you are listening, the sense will gradually break in upon your soul. But mind that you listen with open ear and willing heart. When you speak to God, do not let it be a
Yeah, so it's just some of the shortwave band right now. It's a little. Of course, I'm not using the loop today. I'm just using the MFED. When I get another switch box, then I'll because I'm gonna bring the MFJ over here too. That's the next. So now I got the MFED in here. The MLA 30 is fed here. The discon. So I need one more antenna to come in here. That's the MFJ 1886. I want to have that. I want to bring the line through here. For that one, I have LMR 240. I have enough that I can bring it in here. But I'm gonna move the location from the one on the roof is coming down. That one is I'm gonna take that one down. I'm just gonna clean that one up and I'll leave it in here for now. But the one that's out there, where it's at on the mount, I'm gonna rotate it and point it the other way. And then I'm going to that line I'm gonna bring it. Right now that one is going to the boiler room. But I'm gonna reroute that line and bring it in here. And leave that in here. In the boiler room eventually I'm gonna use another MLA 30 over there. One of the modified ones. And I might do something else over there. Because I want to finalize my antenna setup here because it's a pain to bring all those wiring in here. I got to weave it through here, and there's a hole like that joins the two rooms. A hole about this wide, so I bring in the antennas through there. That's how I got it through there. So I'm gonna be doing that. That's my next project coming up. Bring the MFJ 1886 wire in here, and I'm gonna give one more switch box for that, and probably three more what they call pigtail, but I call them, they're jumpers, and hook those up, and that's it. And then I'll be finalized over here with the radios set up because I'm not gonna move. It's gonna stay here for a long time. Even when I have to remodel the rest of the basement, I'm just gonna keep that here. Let me see. Daniel Mark LeBlanc. My first shortwave radio was actually my dad's 1970s Panasonic RF 2200. That's a nice radio. It was stolen when we were at the beach when I was a kid. Has anyone ever come across one of these? I don't own one. I seen that. I know which one you're talking about. It's a very nice radio. I have the Sony ICF 5900W. That was the competitor of that one at the time. That one. That was a competitor. And that one looks like a big old military style radio. I'll just show you real quick. So this is, let me just get this stuff out of the way and put it right here. So this is the competitor. Of course, I took out the strap. That one had a strap too, shoulder strap. That was a competitor to that one, to the Panasonic. So, yeah, but that's a great radio. The RF 2200. I think Todderbird has one. I seen it on his channel. So Todderbird has that one, the competitor to this one. That's a competitor, the Sony. And yeah, it's a nice radio though. It's a very nice radio. I love the look of it too. I never seen them come up on Kijiji in these parts of Canada. Okay. Yeah, they're harder to find. That's like this. Like when I got this radio, it was rare. I got this radio for $25. And it was on eBay. It was that radio and another radio that's up there. It was another radio that I gave it like $50 for 2 radios. And it was $50. Anyway, it was a woman. I remember her name too because I spoke about her husband and all that. I made a video on all that. Her name is Amy. I still remember her name. I remember her name. I met when I went to her building. I met her. She's a widow. So those were her husband's radios. He passed away years before. So she kept them for all those years and she wanted to finally sell them. So I asked her, was your husband shortwave listener, ham? He said, no, she just liked to listen to radio. Those were his favorite radios. He used to run a radio show. Let me bring up the flyer. I'll show you the flyer. So her husband used to be a radio host for a station, a local station. This was the radio show that he used to. That's a picture of him right there. Okay, focus. Okay, I understand it was focusing. Anyway, so he used to run a radio show. He was the host of this radio show for like 20 years. It was called The French Moment. So of course, he passed away, and he owned that radio and another radio that I bought of the guy's wife. And she talked about it. He had, I think, over 20,000 records, French records of all type music, everything. Because his radio show was based on French, stuff on the radio. So, and I looked it up online. He donated like 13,000 of his records to a museum. There's a radio museum, something. And then the rest of it, I don't know what happened. I think he donated. So I thought he still has some records. So, but anyway, so the radios that he owned, that's the ones I own now. I own the 2 radios that he. So that radio, the Sony radio, if you go on eBay, that radio I seen that radio as high as $400. $400 for that radio. I got that radio for $25. It works fine. Everything is functional on that radio. He took really good care of those radios. But I wanted to bring that up because that's why I enjoy Craigslist. Believe it or not, meeting some people, because I always ask about the story behind the radio, especially if it's an older radio. I say, "Yo, what's the deal with it? Can you tell me about what kind of it's like adds a story to the radio." So I said, "Do you have like some kind of shit?" So he gave me this. She said, "Yeah, this was like his flyer." So his name was John Galea. Focus in there. So WFUV was a radio. It still is. It's a radio station out of Fordham University in the Bronx. So that was the name of the show, The French Moment. There you go. Good focus right there. So John Gallia. So you can see he had like everything French related was in this program. I have to go back and see if he has old programs around there. You see, he has a radio, he has the baguette, the wine, I guess the cheese, everything is French, but he's wearing a cowboy hat type. So when she told me the story, I was like, man, I gotta mention this when I on my channel. 'Cause I told her I have a channel, and I told her, no, I'm gonna take good care of the radio and all that. So because I see he took good care of it, and I looked it up. I looked up about that he donated his records to a museum. I think it was like 13,000 French records. So that's why I enjoy Craigslist. I know Craigslist. Most of the time, you're gonna meet people that are gonna be like, they don't want you to go to their house. They don't want you to go to their house. Well, I get that. So I'll be like, sometimes you meet them at a parking lot or whatever, shopping mall. Because some people on Craigslist, I mean, of course, there was a case called Craigslist Killer, where people went to meet him and he killed them. He robbed them and he killed them. So my wife used to tell me, Danny, you're gonna go meet people on Craigslist. Be careful, please, and call me. I said, no, I'll be careful. But you never know, God forbid, you always got all you need is that one. Because my wife watches a lot of horror movies, and I watch it with her. And sometimes they have people that get kidnapped and they stuck in an apartment with handcuffs. Get me out of here! And they wind up chopping them up, or who knows what happens. So my wife tells me to be careful when you meet those people. Most of the time, I used to go with her, drive over there. But sometimes, and this was of course before. I would go meet them. I would take the subway and go meet them over there. But she was a sweet lady, and it was kind of like the apartment was like where she lived at. It was a nice area of New York City in Manhattan. It's the Upper West Side. The apartments there over $1 million. Each apartment costs like $1 million. So I guess this guy made us some money. He made good money. It was a beautiful building. I went in the building. Security. You have to go to the building. Beautiful building. When I went to the apartment was empty though. I was like, wow. I'm like, this is I thought I was gonna go to a nice looking apartment. It's $1 million apartment at 86th Street somewhere. I forgot 83rd Street. I forgot where it was. Beautiful apartment building. When I go to the apartment, it's empty. Empty. And I'm like, I guess she just didn't want to redo the apartment. It was just empty. I was like, wow, of course she's alone in that apartment. So, because she's, widow. And I'm like, wow. It blew me away that the apartment was so empty and it looked like it wasn't painted in years. And $1 million apartment. I put things in perspective, like no matter how much money you have, if you don't have no one to share it with, and it could be very lonely. And I guess that's the way it was. I think that's what happened to her. She looked at like, we talked for over an hour. We just sat there in our living room and we talked. We just talked. We talked about a lot of different things. And that's when I told her, can you tell me about, and we just started talking and we talked. And then, part of me didn't want to leave because I felt so bad. I was like, this is weird. But yeah, you meet interesting people on Craigslist. I met some interesting people when I bought, like the guy that sold me the Zenith Transoceanic. He fixes all these radios. I bought 3 of them off of him, and he's disabled. Like he had trouble getting out of his car. He looked like he's in his 70s, but he has disability. I think he has to walk with a walk. He has a cane. He had trouble getting out the car. Yeah. So, but this story, I don't forget the story. I like to say it because you know what? It kind of keeps it the memory of the guy. The guy was 20 years on the air. He had his own radio show. My dream was to have a radio show. That was always one of my dreams. To have a talk radio show and things like that. That was one of my dreams. It still is my dream. I have a talk radio show, and I could talk for a couple of hours, and I have callers calling in. You calling in, you suck, bro. You need to get off the air, bro. And he put the dump button, hang up, and down. I listen to talk radio, and I always wanted to do something like that. I don't know if I had the voice for it. I definitely don't have the face for it, but I think I have the voice for it. Yeah. So anyway, let me go read the chat. Daniel Mark LeBlanc, I seen them on eBay for over 300 Canadian. That's what, yeah, that is. I wouldn't pay that much for it. But I wouldn't pay $300 for it. No, no. Not even $200 I would pay for radio like that. Like I said, when the opportunity presents itself, like this one, I bought it. I mean, I saw it on the Craigslist ad. Right there, I text her. I said, listen, I'm interested in the radio. You know, she said, okay. And then she gave me her number. I called her. We spoke on the phone. And I told her, I said, she said, when can you? I said, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I could be there tomorrow. She said, okay, fine. So she gave me the address. I wrote it down, and we met. You know, so yeah, I would just wait for opportunity presents itself and buy it. I wouldn't go out. I wouldn't. And that's another thing. When you're going crazy, if you start looking for something you really want, you're gonna get fixated on something, and you're gonna want to pay more. You're gonna want to pay. You're gonna want to pay more than what you really. It's like an emotional attachment to it. And you don't want that. You need to get the emotion out of it. And most of these radios, there were opportunity. I just waited till there was an opportunity, and I saw this particular radio for a very good price, and I said, okay, I'll make the offer here. I did not go out of my way to buy this particular type of radio. No, I just keep looking to see if there's something that looks. First of all, it doesn't look like it needs a lot of work on it because I don't want to buy a radio that needs major work. I didn't want to buy that. I have a criteria. I have first of all, the radio has to power. One of my things that when I buy a radio, it has to power up. I'm not buying a radio that doesn't power up. Sorry, that's the first quick question I asked them. Does it power up? Yes. Okay. Now you got my attention. Okay. When it powers up, most of them don't know how to use a radio. Can you hear anything? That's the next question. Yeah, I can hear when I put on the AM band, but on shortwave, I don't know what this is. And I said, okay, now they got my attention. I look for things like that. Of course, I look at cosmetically the radio. If it needs too much work on the outside, I don't want that either. I'm not into that type of restoration. I want a radio that looks good enough that I can present it. It doesn't need major work, and that's it. You know, Save that for the other person, the other hobbyist that wants to bring a radio from the dead. That's not me. I'm not looking for a radio to bring back from the dead. It needs a heartbeat already. I'm not doing the Frankenstein thing. I'm not bringing the radios from it's alive. No. It better be alive when I buy it. Otherwise I'm not buying it. So to each his own, we have our own, some guys want to bring the radio back from the dead. They're willing to pay that. That's fine. Me, no. If I see something that says for parts only on an ad, I just move on to the next one. I'm not buying a radio for parts only. No. It has to function. That's my criteria for when I buy a used radio. An old radio, excuse me, has to function. Like this radio, I bought this radio and other highly crafted S200. The guy told me up front it hums. So I knew what I was buying. But I bought it because I figured, I could probably fix the hum, and there is something where you can fix it. Of course, if I had to go back now, I wouldn't have bought the radio because I don't have time to fix any radios right now. I just don't have the time. So these two I may get rid of. Just either sell them or trade them for something. I don't know. Because right now I don't even have time to do a restoration. There's too many things I have to do in this house. I have too many projects. So I can't. So that's another thing that happened a few years ago. I thought I had more time. And I realize I have less time. Things come up, and you know, this house is going to be 100 years old. This house always needs something done. And one thing we wish we had more is time. Time is the ultimate commodity. We wish we had more of it. You know. So wow, you get shortwave stuff for crazy deals in years compared to Canada. It's so expensive here. Daniel Mark LeBron. No, like I just said, sometimes opportunity. Um, because I don't know what part of Canada you live in. That's another thing. It's just location. Right now, for example, in my case, I live next to New York City. There's a lot more people here. A lot more people throw out more stuff, or they want to get rid of stuff. I could walk down the street on a given day and find a bunch of old TVs out in the street, and one of them is going to be working. There's more people here. It's more populated. I don't know where you live at, Daniel. I don't know if you live in Toronto, near Toronto. It depends. If you live in a nearby, more populated area, you're gonna have more of those ads. Otherwise, you're gonna have to drive far to meet up with those people. And here, I'm a bus ride away from New York City. I just get on the number 4 bus. I'm there. 30 minutes later, I'm in the Bronx. From here, I'm in New York City. New York City is one of the biggest cities in this country, in the United States. So, if not the biggest city in the country, is New York City. A lot more ads to it. Now, where you are in Canada, I don't know what Craigslist locality, what province, what city. It's probably going to be less listings. So yeah, it's going to be harder for you to find more of a selection. You know, it's just because of your location. That's the good thing about. I'm fortunate about that New York City's right there. If I go on Craigslist and put free stuff, it's a lot of stuff free. If I want to put shortwave radio, I get a few listings. Somebody's always selling a shortwave radio in New York City or in the tri-state area in nearby, in New York City, Westchester County, Connecticut, even New Jersey, this whole tri-state area. Somebody's always selling radios. I even have a lot of ads that say we buy radios back. We buy radios. We buy your stereo. We buy your hi-fi stereo, your radio. So it just depends on your location too. But in my case, I'm in a good location because I'm next to New York City. People always throwing stuff out. So sometimes it just goes with that. It's Kijiji or eBay. I mean, not eBay. Kijiji or Craigslist here in the U.S. You gotta have to look at your location. You know, I don't know if you have I don't know if you drive. You have a vehicle. You might have to drive maybe Greater Toronto area. Or the GTA, the Greater Toronto area. Greater Toronto area is the biggest city, right? Toronto's the biggest. Isn't Toronto like the biggest city in Canada? I know it's not the capital, but capital's Ottawa. I know it's Ottawa, right? Ottawa, right? But I know Toronto's probably the biggest city, right? So I will look at Kijiji in Toronto, Greater Toronto area, and start with that. I don't know how far you are from Toronto. I don't know if you live in Toronto, but you'll probably get a lot more listings from the Greater Toronto area than you would. I don't know, because I don't know where you live at. That's why I know you live in Canada, but I forgot what part you live at. Or wherever you live at, you might have to look at the whatever city is nearby where you at. You know, like if you're near Montreal, you might have to look at the Montreal area because that's another city. Because most of the time you're gonna find that you know. So you're gonna have to expand a little bit. In my case, I don't have to do that because New York City is right there. It's right nearby me. Like if I lived in if I live in the Midwest, say for example, like if I lived in a small town in for example, I'm just gonna name some random. All right, Midwest. Like let's say Missouri. I live in a small area in Missouri. The biggest city in Missouri is St. Louis, right? I'm gonna have to look at St. Louis. It might be a 3 or 4 hour drive, a 2 hour drive, but that's what you're gonna have to look at because St. Louis is a city, big city. You understand? So yeah, you might have to do that when you go on Kijiji. Look at the nearest city that's near where you at, and look at their listings. And you might have to. It might be a 2 hour ride or whatever it is, but that you're gonna get the more selection from that city, from a bigger city than a small town. You know, because I do that here. When I put New York City, I get a lot. If I put Yonkers only, there's nothing. I only get 1 or 2 listings. That's it. But if I put New York City, I got pages of stuff people selling. So you might have to expand on what you're looking for, to a nearby city for Kijiji, or in over here is Craigslist. Especially when you buy older radios like this. I wouldn't go on eBay to buy this stuff. I know Arthur agrees with me. Arthur Helicrafter's Kitchen. When you're buying a radio like this, like a toll tube radio, don't buy on eBay because first of all, the shipping is gonna kill you. Shipping on a radio like this radio is about 25 pounds or more. Shipping on a radio like this is gonna cost you more than probably what the radio is worth. So for radios like this, I will only go on Craigslist or Kijiji. That's it. And you got to keep trying until somebody lists their old radio, and you make a deal with them. That's it. And you buy the radio. You go over there, meet them, and you bring the radio home. Because if you try to ship this radio, one, the shipping is going to be too expensive. Number two, these radios are too fragile for UPS, for for UPS, or especially FedEx. FedEx is the worst. They have glass tubes in them, fragile. Some of this stuff is old. Some of this stuff is glass. This is glass. It's not plastic. This is glass. This will break. Handling package, this will break. And there's no replacement for this stuff. Basically, you're out of luck. This is glass. Okay? Keep looking at Craigslist, Kijiji. You see an O2 radio, you make a deal with them. That's it. You buy it. I would not buy a radio like that on eBay. I never bought one like that on eBay, and I never will. It's just, I wouldn't do that. No way. All right, let me read the chat. I'm sorry about that. Let me go back to the French moment. Very interesting stuff attached to your radio. Nice stuff. Yeah, it says a story behind the radio like that. And I like to and also I like to retell the story. And a lot of these radios, like I said, it's not only buying the radio, it's the fact that you meet some people. It's kind of like the journey, Let me see right here. The wildest horror movie I ever seen was called The Human Centipede. I don't know. I have to look that one up. I never heard of that one. The Human Centipede. Daniel Mark LeBlanc. Back in the 70s, my dad and I purchased a couple of subs with plenty of meat when going to the movies, and this was our snack. The bad thing is the movie was a Texas. Oh yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, they were butchering up, serving. So you're eating a ham and cheese sandwich with meat, and you see meat getting cut up, human meat. Yeah, I'll take away your appetite. Eating a human sandwich. You start thinking, "Oh my God, there's a human sandwich. Is that a finger in my sub? What's that crunchy taste? What's that crunchy sound coming out of my mouth? Like somebody's finger." Oh my God. Daniel Mark LeBlanc, the scariest movie I ever seen and the worst snack ever. For this flick, you will know what I mean if you saw it. Yeah, I know. I seen Texas Chainsaw. I seen different. I said my wife watched. My wife seen them all. Cause my wife is a horror movie nut. So she's the one that got me. I watch them too, but I watch it with her. And even my son watches it with us, which I told my wife, I said, why don't let him watch this stuff? And he got to the point where he told his mother, Mom, I don't want you to watch that stuff no more. That stuff is bad. So she doesn't watch that in front of him now. She has to watch it when he's not either home, he's at school, or he's sleeping. She doesn't watch scary stuff around him no more. He made it clear to her. He doesn't want her watching that stuff anymore. But yeah, I watched all that Saw. Every horror movie you can think of, I watched them. I seen them all. I seen them all. I but I never heard of that one. My wife probably heard of that one, Human Centipede. I have to look that up. I think I seen it a long time ago. Okay, it was scary. Then today probably not so. Oh, so it's one of those old black and white. Yeah, they're not scary no more. Like when I see those movies now, they're not scary. They look actually they're funny now. Like the creature from the Black Lagoon. I used to think it was scary. The creature from the Black Lagoon. I remember I was scared. I was scared of that creature. But now it's just a man in a rubber suit. It looks like a fish suit. Dwayne Tripper, hello, and welcome to the chat. And how's it going? Daniel Mark LeBlanc, Toronto is the biggest city. I'm in New Brunswick. Okay, so you were way up. Okay, so you're in another part. I'm in New Brunswick, Canada. Our population is 750,000 for the whole province. Okay, so then you will have to find the biggest city in your province, which I don't know what that is. What is the biggest city in New Brunswick? So, I will go by that. So the whole province is 750,000. So there has to be one major city in New Brunswick, right? So that will be the city. I don't know. I'm not in front of a map. I can't tell you, but you know what I'm saying. So I will when I go on Kijiji, I will look for that area, for that particular city. Whatever the biggest city is that's nearby in that province, that's what I will start looking. You get because the probability. Remember, the bigger the city, the more probability is going to be higher that people are going to sell stuff that you want to buy. You know, like where my sister-in-law lives at. My sister-in-law, one of my sister-in-law, she lives in Brewster. It's only a town of 3,400 people. That's it. That's a town. The town of Brewster is 3,500 people. That's it. That's a town. You're not gonna find nothing there if you're looking for buying a radio. You have to look to whatever city is nearby Brewster. I think the biggest city nearby Brewster is Poughkeepsie. That's all the way. She has to go back west in New York. So Poughkeepsie it's way smaller than Yonkers, but it's still bigger. Or she might have to go look back down here to Yonkers, New York City. You see what I'm saying? But if you look in your own municipality, you're not gonna find all these things there because there's nobody there. It's only three. In her case, 3,000 people. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So Daniel Marley, I'm 25 minutes from the biggest city. You're just lucky being in. Yeah, I am. I am lucky being next to New York City. I get more for selection. Yeah. Exactly. Because when I went down to Orlando, well, Claremont, the biggest city is Orlando. Orlando is a city, but it's nowhere near New York City. In New York City, it's like, what is it now? Like 10 million people? I forgot what it's. I forgot. I don't even know what number. So, yeah, I know. And you're 700,000 in your whole province. Yeah, so slim pickings. So you might have to look. You might have to look, further out and find, and that's it. And yeah, it might be a 6 hour, 5 hour ride if you really want to find the good stuff. It's unfortunate. I mean, the good and the bad. I wish I lived in a place where it was a lot more quieter than here. You know, You get the good and the bad. You know, you live in a nice, quiet place. I'm sure your place is a lot more quieter than here. I have more accessibility here, but you know, I wish I could live in a place where, you know, my neighbor's all the way down there, my other neighbor's over there, and I could put up all the wire antennas I want without people snitching on me. You know, it's a trade-off. I wouldn't say lucky, but yeah, I guess it has its good and the bad. You know, of course, here I have more crazy people. That's another thing. So let me go back down to Jim's radio check. I'm in the southwest edge of Chicago, in the Chicago area. Okay, so in your case, Greater Chicago area, right? You will, you know, Kijiji, Greater Chicago area, and that's it. And then Chicago's a big city, so probably a lot more listings in Chicago than you know. Chicago is like New York. It's a big city. Daniel Mark about Toronto, 16-hour drive away. Yeah, that's a long drive. Yeah, that's way, you know. For something like that, you know, that would have to be like a plan, which I done here too. You know, like when I bought my Zenith, I bought when I bought this radio and I bought the Zenith, I think not 16 hours, it was like 2 hours. So I told the guy ahead of time, I said, no, we're gonna be shopping in Walmart over here on this day. Because where he lived that was further out. So we met at Walmart. All right, focus. So he was an hour away from that Walmart. I was 2 hours and a half away. So we planned it. We said, well, I'll be when you get there, I'll be inside Walmart. We met at the parking lot in Walmart and we did the exchange. He had him in his car. We load him up to my car, and you know, yeah, yeah. And let me see. So, oh, the Mark. No, the movie was in color. Okay, so it's probably yeah, okay, oh, yeah. But yeah, I know all the movies. Some of them look like they're not scary anymore. Even when I watch like I remember when I watched Carrie. Was it Carrie? It was about some girl they used to tease at school, and then there's a part that she's at the prom and they poured blood on her. And I think it was the commercial when I first heard the commercial. I guess the way the audio of the commercial, it was scary. But then when I saw the movie, I was like, it's not so bad. And then now that movie's silly. I can't watch that movie now. It's just silly. It's it's old. I guess when you watch it as a kid, when you're a kid, it's more scary as a kid. But when you get older, it's like, okay, this is yeah, not so scary. Jim's radio check. Every now and then I watch a torture movie. My wife gets mad at me. No, my wife is the opposite. That she watches that. I can't watch that stuff. Because I watch it so many times it gets old. You know how many ways can you rip a person apart? When you watch it a few times, because I actually watch the documentaries. You ever heard of what is it? Faces of Death? They have it on YouTube. You can look for the videos for the Faces of Death. I've seen them on YouTube too. But I first rented the DVD, not the DVD, not the DVD, the VHS. When we had rental places where you could rent the movie. So a friend of mine, we would rent the movie. We would say, hey, let's go rent them. You ever see Face of Death? I said, no. I said, you got to see this. My friend saw this. Oh, my God, they show people actually dying in real life. And I'm like, okay, let's go watch it. So he would go to like the Blockbuster or whatever. They would rent it out. So we started watching in his house, Faces of Death. So I was like, oh, my God, look at the way that guy fell off the building. And but it's a documentary. Yes, three of them. So I seen all three of them. Then they came out with then another maker made a different one. They renamed it called Dead Faces. My God, my stomach is growling. What the hell, man? I just ate a little. What the like? All right. So yeah, yeah. So face, so that cause it was like teenagers, like 16, 17. Yo, you want to see Face of Death? I'm like, what is that? I said, that's a real. It's about people getting smashed and killed, and I was like, okay. So we watch it at his house. Yeah, yeah, I remember that show, Thousand Ways to Die. That was on was it Sci-Fi? Yeah, I remember that too. Thousand Ways to Die. That was like right before. That's when I canceled my cable. Right before that, when I canceled, I remember seeing that. Was it? It was a USA Network, or it was? I forgot what. Yeah, I would watch that too. But of course, that's not a real. They just tell you the story. They don't show real people dying. They just tell you the story about. Like there was this one that I guess this couple they ate raw snails. Like they thought that was cool to eat raw snails. Like hey, look, escargot. No, it wasn't escargot. They just ate raw snails without. I guess because when they do the escargot, they actually sanitize the snail. And oh, that's it. I'm looking at a freeze alert. Yo, we're getting a freeze alert. It's supposed to get cold. I never saw that before because I got the Microsoft thing. They tell you the weather. I thought it was a stream that was freezing. I was like, why is that freeze? So I got a freeze alert because it's supposed to drop in. It's supposed to drop in the 30s out over here tonight. It's supposed to be cold. Anyway, so Thousand Ways to Die. Yeah, used to watch that. And that couple that ate that raw snail, and then I think a few weeks went by. Then they started getting parasites in their brain, and they both died because I guess when they ate the snail, it has some kind of parasite in it, and it made it to their brain, and it made their brain like Swiss cheese. There was holes in their brain. It was eating in their brain. So when they did the autopsy, they found parasites in their brain. Ugh, that's just nasty. Ooh, that's a horrible way to die. You have parasites in your brain. Ugh. So there was some of that. There was some funny ones. There was one of the guy I think jumped off a rock and diving into the water, and I guess the water shot up his what his rectum. I guess because he jumped from so high up, he tried to do like a cannonball. It's a cannonball, right? When they grab themselves and they jump like that in the water to make a big splash. So I guess the guy landed on his butt into the water, and the water shot up his a. Here you go. I'm gonna say his. You know what? His a hole. So the water, I guess, shot up through that, and it ruptured his organ. Like it was like that much force. The water shot up to his bunghole. Now the stream is going down. Oh, I just drilled the stream into the ground. It just torpedoed the stream into the ground. Oh my god. So anyway, water shot up to his rectum, and I guess it ruptured his colon or some other stuff. He died just by diving into the water from a crazy height. I think it must have been like 30, 40 feet. He dived off a rock. He went right into the water trying to do a cannonball. And the water shot up through there. It was bizarre. I was like, wow, people, he actually died from that? I heard you get splash burn. No, the water shot up through his there and in his organs. I was like, man, that's bizarre. Oh my god. James Radio check. There was one episode, a lady was on a plane and she had silicone. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Yeah, she had implants. And I guess the air pressure on the plane, and he had trouble with the air, and it exploded inside. Oh yeah, and then the silicone went in her bloodstream, and she went into what they call toxic shock. Yeah, she had like organ failure and all that. It was bizarre. It was like, yeah, those are bizarre ones. Yeah, the air pressure. Uh, yeah, man. I took the stream downhill with that bunghole water jetting. Oh my god, Danny always my always managed a way to torpedo. Take the stream to another realm. Daniel Mark Levin, I love the old space movies such as The Day, The Earth Stood Still, Europa Report, Andromeda Strain, Contact, Maroon, From Earth to the Moon, the 50s. Yeah, I watched. I seen a few of them. My brother used to watch a lot of that. My brother Eric used to watch a lot of. But when we were growing up, that's what he used to watch a lot. So and over here we had New York City. We had Channel 11, WPIX. They have what they call creature feature, creature feature. So they have. If you look it up on YouTube, you see it. They have like it looks like, obviously it's clay. It has like an animation of a hand coming up from the ground, and it grabs like a something and it brings it back. I think it would look like it was made out of clay. And me as a 7-year-old, I'm looking at it. Ooh, that's clay. That looks cute. And it's an animation of a hand coming out of the ground, and then grab something. And I can't remember. I forget what it grabbed. Anyways, if you look at Preacher Feature, WPIX, Channel 11, you'll see the intro. It's an intro. It's a funny look. So he used to watch a lot of movies from there. Creature Feature. They said I think it was like Saturday, not morning, Saturday afternoon. They would show those movies, and some of it was like the sci-fi, the space type and things like that. Some of it, of course, was the creature, the Black Lagoon, or the werewolf. Or the one with the attacking brains. What is it? It's like a brain, and they leech up on you, and they. Oh, I forgot what that. I saw one like that. It was a bunch of brains. I guess they got up alive. They were alive, live brains. And they would jump on you and attack you. Oh my God! Oh, get them off of me! Get that brain off of me! Oh! And back then when I was a kid, I was like, man, that's scary. I don't want to see that brain crawling up on me. I look on the floor, and I see a brain there crawling up on me, and he's about to jump on you. Jump on you. Let me do the effect. He's a brain, and he just jumps on you and starts sucking the life out of you. So as a 7-year-old, I was like, I don't want that brain jumping on me. I'm scared. Now I would, if I see that video now, I laugh. It's so silly. A brain. See a brain walking up. And then of course they had the what is it? It looked like Jello. I forgot the name of that. It was like the Blob. Remember that, the Blob? I used to think it was Jello. I'm like, oh, look at Killer Jello. So the Blob will go through anything, and if you got in his way, you're dead. You will get consumed by the Blob. Oh my God. So right now we on for 2 hours and 28 minutes. And I got 8 people watching. So there you go. Welcome to the stream. Who's watching? You're welcome to join the chat. You can send your email. I posted my email. Anyways, on the about page, if you want to send an email question, you want to ask a question. There's no such thing as a silly question, although I do get some weird comments. Like I got one the other day for the antenna, the NFET. I posted a video. I posted on Reddit, right? The video about this setting up the NFET. People, it was cool. People were cool about it. A couple of people supposed to come. I had to take 2 comments. There was one comment. The guy again. I'm going to say it. If you don't like the video, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to watch it. So the guy posted a comment like, oh, he took 36 minutes to make a video about an infant when he could have wrote it in 2 paragraphs. He could have wrote it. I mean, you know, I don't know the guy's voice. I'm gonna say that he probably sound like a schmuck. Uh, oh, he could have just wrote the article in 3 paragraphs instead of making a 36-minute video about putting up an infant. No, snap ahead. I made the video because it's my channel. People want to see videos like this. Some people like watching. Some people like my antenna videos more than all of my other videos. But you know, there's some people that actually like my antenna videos when I'm on the roof. Those are because I don't know, maybe they could relate to it more. That people, yeah, of course, anybody can look up information on a text, how to put up an end fed. It's not rocket science. There's thousands of informational text out there, a PDF document or whatever old web page that shows a diagram of an end fed on a tree with a ballon here, and that's it. That's some people that could just they're happy reading that. But some people want to see a video on it, right? I do. Yeah, I know. And that video was not a how-to video. That video is how I'm setting it up. Okay, when I made that video, I'm not trying to teach people how to put up an NFET. Putting an NFET is not hard. It's not rocket science. This is the way I put up my NFET. That's what it says in the title. Because I'm talking to you, whoever you are, with the you could have wrote that in 3 paragraphs. You didn't have to make a 36-minute video on it. No, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is I made the video on how I'm putting on my NFET with my situation. That's what the video is about. It's not how you do it. I'm not teaching you how to do it. That's not what the video was about, dude. But all right, Daniel Mark LeBron, take care. And I'll be back on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 73s. And have a good night. So my video was not that. It's not teaching you. You know, if you want to find out how to build an NFET, there's text documents all over the place. You can read it. I read many of them. The video was not about that. The video is not showing you how to do an NFET. It's how I put up my NFET in my yard with the tree. That's, you know, every situation is unique wherever you live at. You know, I don't have a tree in my property, so I was showing people how I did the incognito way on how to put an NFET on my yard without blowing up my spot. That's the video. It's not how to put up an NFET. So the guy, he was smart ass. He got to be a smart ass. Of course, what I did is immediately I blocked his ass and I reported you. You know why? Because now I reported. You know why? Because I want to be an asshole. There you go, my PG rating. Because you know what? That's harassment. I'm gonna go a little on the edge. You know what? Now you're harassing me, because I'm sure I'm not the only person that you ever put a stupid a comment like that on. Of course, you can find a text file that's 3 paragraphs and a diagram that can show you how to do NFET. Once again, the video is not about how to put an NFET up, people. The video is about how I put an NFET on my situation in my yard with my nosy neighbors. That's the purpose of the video. It's not a how-to video. There's plenty of videos on how-to if you want to see a video on that. It's not about that. It's how I had to deal with my situation. I didn't want people to see the side of the, that's what it was about. So snap ahead. I'm going to call you snap ahead. You snap ahead. Whoever you are out there that made that comment. Snap ahead. The video is not about that. The video was about how I dealt with my situation. I had to put the NFET up. That's all it was. It's not a how-to. Of course, you can go look at the pictures. There's plenty of pictures that show you how to NFET. NFET is a very simple device. It's an onion, right? I'm going to use that as an example. NFET is just an onion or a balun or whatever. It's fed on one end and a long wire. That's all it is. It's not rocket science. But of course, Snap Ahead wanted to, I guess he was his way of trying to, let me show him. I'm going to show him that, I'm going to give him, he could have wrote this. Yeah, I could have done that in 2 paragraphs if I put on a text file. Of course, I have a channel. It's a video channel. Snap Ahead. Okay? So Snap Ahead doesn't understand that I have a channel. I'm not going to post pictures of a because I hate those videos too. If you got a video channel, post video. Don't post slides on text. To me, that's not, you're not, but that's a whole nother discussion. Some people do that, and I find those videos boring. And sometimes you have to use slides. I get that. So in his case, it was just, you could have done that in 3 paragraphs with text instead of making a 36-minute video. I mean, a Snap Ahead. Just anyway, you're banned. So you're not gonna comment on my channel anyway. So you're banned, Snap Ahead. Okay? Bye-bye. All right. Yeah, so that just irks my, why. It just grinds my gears. If you got nothing good to say, just don't say it, bro. Don't watch my channel. Don't say it, bro. Just, just move along. Because you're always going to have those people, But that's why I like to address this people. Because I make fun of you people like that. You guys, the ones that you Snap Ahead, you know what I do? I call my wife and we read it together and we laugh at you. That's what we do. We say, yeah, this Snap Ahead, look at this comment. And we laugh at you. That's what we do. People like you entertain me. So I got another use of this channel. You entertain me too. And I bet you that guy, and he didn't even have a channel. He was a Reddit account. Before I banned him, I saw his Reddit account. He only posts stupid remarks to people. He has no content. He doesn't post videos. If you go to my Reddit account, all I have is videos and links I posted, articles I posted. My Reddit is very active. His Reddit is just complaint, a couple of stupid little remarks he made to some other guy, and that's it. So he's a troll. He's a troll. All he does is go trolling people. That's all he does. He lives in his mother's basement, his mommy's basement. Can't get any love. Miserable piece of what. And he just tries to poo-poo on everybody. That's all he does. That's all he does. So when I the first thing is I'm gonna ban him, and I reported you because I see the pattern that you put on other people. You like to harass people, but it doesn't work with me. You see, you can harass me, and I'm just gonna laugh at you. I'm laughing at you. That's what people like me do. I laugh at you. I'm like the rhino, bro. I put a horn right here, and I go head on to your ass. I'm not gonna back down, bro. I'm a rhino, bro. I just dig in, and bam, that's it. You get blasted. So that's what happened to Snap Ahead. Because you're always gonna have those people. That's why I'm telling you, all you people that have a YouTube channel, don't let people like that get to you. You're always gonna have a Snap Ahead. You could have done this. You could have just, instead of doing a 36-minute video on your NFED, you could have wrote it in 3 paragraphs. No. That's not the point of the video. Again, the point of the video was I wanted to show people my situation, what I got to deal with, and that's how I put up mine. It wasn't a how-to video. You don't need a how-to video on that. It's pretty simple. There's many ways to put up an NFED. You could put as a sloper. You could do as a inverted V. You could do an L. You could do a vertical. You could use, some people use fishing line to hold the end fed up. Thick fishing line. Some people use paracord. There's many different ways. It wasn't a how-to video, bro. Snap ahead. It wasn't a how-to video. So chill. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Chill out. Go outside, bro. Take a deep breath. Go outside, bro. Go take a walk. So, and this is Reddit. Reddit. I'm telling you. You could have a three paragraph text and you didn't need to make a 36-minute video. Oh my God. Like, why? How did I trigger this person to write such a stupid comment? But that's the power of me doing this channel. I get to laugh at you. People like you, I laugh at you. I talk to myself, "Oh, you want to see this?" And then we laugh at you. And we bring out the popcorn, and I kick my feet back, and I read the comment. And I go, "Oh, this guy's an idiot." That's what I do. I put my feet up, and then I just start laughing. Crack open a beer, and I start laughing at that guy. That's what I do. Because I know people like that, what they do to other people. We lost a couple of YouTubers because of people like that. Two Ends on the Radio is a good example. He was a good YouTube channel. He's a funny guy, very funny guy, but he let people get to him. He was dealing with a couple of trollers. Now we'll go on his channel, and I read some of them. They were really stupid stuff, and I would tell them, "Gary, why don't you just ban them and make fun of them?" I may do a video one day. I may save some of those comments, and do like a video on all the hate that I get. And I'll put on piano music or violin music and read out what they wrote. And some of it, the grammar is horrible. Like stupid, like they don't even know how to spell the word stupid. Waste of time. It's a waste of time. And just read them and laugh. And then we all get to laugh. We all get to laugh at you. Maybe I'm gonna do a montage of all the stupid stuff that I get. Even my emails. So you can see. If some of it is like, what? You took all the time in the world to write to me about this? Wow, bro. And I had to address it because when I read the comment, I said, "Oh yeah, this is material for me," and that's what it is, bro. And thank you for that. It's just material for me to talk about. I'm burning up the minutes here. 2 hours and 42 minutes, and I wasted 10 minutes talking about this snap ahead. But you know what? Thank you for that. Those are 10 minutes I can fill in the dead air, because that's what they do too. And that's what happened with Gary. Gary, I love you wherever you are. Bring back your channel. Gary could have done a live stream, and he could have talked about all the people that were trolling him, and he should have made fun of them. 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 He was trying to make fun of them during the thing, but he sounded like he was really getting to him, and he let them win when he deleted his channel. When he deleted his channel, we lost another funny and entertaining YouTuber. That's what happened, because he decided, and he could have took a break. I would have told him, "Yo, just take a break, bro. Take a few months off." I take a break every so often, but I take a break for other reasons. But I take a break. I'm not gonna delete my channel because of a couple of snap-aheads. No, because of snap-ahead. Somebody living in his mother's basement or somebody trolling. No, I'm not gonna delete my channel because of that, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Because I'm gonna look at first of all, the minute you troll me, I'm gonna look at your channel. Because if you have a channel, and I'm gonna say, okay, you got no videos, so you're a troller. Okay. So you're not even a competition. You're nothing. You're just a troller. And then I'm gonna look at who you follow. Because I go there with people. I see who they follow. Oh, okay, this person is a Karen. He like Karen content. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, this person is whatever, Nothing wrong with tree hugging, or this person whatever. Yeah, this person got issues. Yeah, I could tell, bro. If I go to their channel like that and I see who you follow, it says a lot about you. I see there's a lot of Asian women. He into Asian women. Oh, okay. He he got an Asian fetish. Oh, okay. That's why, bro. When you troll me, I follow you, bro. I go right back at you and I see what you all about before I slam the door on you. Oh, this guy's a religious nut. Okay. Yeah, so he got issues. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I deal with them. You snap ahead, and all you people that troll, you entertain me, bro. You give me more material to talk about here. You understand? So you're not trying to slow me down. You just give me more material. You know, that's all it is. I look at my wife and go, yo, check this one out. You want to see a funny comment? Here we go. So that's what happened with Snap Ahead. Because I know you watch this channel. He had to watch this channel. For him to make a comment. Because that guy's got to be a salty guy. He's a salty guy. He even had a stupid name. And that's another thing. They don't even show their picture. A lot of them got their fake avatar, whatever. Because I don't know, they're too fucking ugly, I'm going to say, to show their picture or whatever it is. Bro, I don't have the best smile in the world, bro. But I'm not going to be afraid of you, bro. You're not going to troll me out of this channel, out of this YouTube. I'm sorry, bro. That's not going to happen. All right? I challenge you. Anybody try to troll me out of here. I challenge them. Okay? It's not going to happen, bro. All right? So, yeah. So, this guy was just all over his. I saw it. I saw the comments that he posted on the stuff. Because you can see their profile. You see everything. I saw the guy was, he had no content. He had no content. Everything was a comment. He never uploaded his own video, anything. He had no content. So those are typical people that troll on people. They got no content. They suck. They suck at life, and they want to suck you down with them. That's all it is. They suck at life. They suck. Mommy and mommy, or daddy and daddy, or mommy and daddy didn't give you enough fucking hugs in his life that he turned out to be a fucking parasite to society. That's what happened to him. He's a troll. His life is nothing but troll. You know? That's the truth. Yeah, that's what you're gonna get in this channel. That's what you're gonna get in this channel. Like I said, I'm like a rhino, bro. I got my horn right. I hit you head on. When you come to this channel, you're gonna troll, or you come to my Reddit or my other account, you're gonna troll. You're gonna get hit head on, bro. When you posted that, I said, yeah, I'm gonna talk about this when everything is when it dies down. When I'm about to wrap it up, I'm gonna bring this up, and I'm bringing it up because he's gonna watch this. He's gonna say, damn, that guy really shouted me out. And yeah, that's right. You're not gonna troll me. You're not gonna do that. You did that with Gary. You guys did that to Gary, and we lost a good channel because of that. Because people like that, they go on other channels. They don't like, if you don't like something, don't watch it. That's all. There's a lot of content I don't find them entertaining or whatever. I don't watch them. That's it. I'm not gonna go on their page and try to, be little dumb and throw, that's not me. I just don't watch them. That's it. That's the control you have over. You click on the next channel or the next link, whatever. When you spend energy typing in stuff like, oh, I'm gonna, this guy needs I need to put this, I'm gonna knock a peg off of this guy. And to make a stupid comment like, oh, you could have wrote that in. Because it was a stupid comment. I don't want to hear it. It was meant to like jab me. Oh, you could have summed that up, and that was the way you could have summed it up in 3 paragraphs. What it took you 36 minutes. That sounds condescending. So yeah. So I said, okay, Snap Ahead, you're gonna get banned, and I'm gonna report you for harassment because I'm sure you're not the only person that you trolled at. You're trolling stupid things. So I said, but this time you're gonna get a little response, and also I'm gonna air it so you know who did it. So you can come after me, bro. Like I said, I got my rhino horn, bro. I go like this, bro, with the I bring head on, bro. Bing. Okay. I go rhino on you. Okay. Because I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm. Unfortunately for them, I'm not Gary. I'm not Gary, bro. You can come after me, bro. Because all you're gonna do is you're gonna entertain me. I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm gonna air. If I'm gonna do a montage one day, I'm gonna air it out, and you're gonna see the people are gonna see, and they're gonna laugh at you more, and that video is gonna get views. Say, oh my God, this is the funniest video I ever saw, Danny, from your channel. Yep. Welcome to my channel. You're gonna read all the stupidness that I had to deal with sometimes. Yo, let me see if this thing is. That's how I deal with it, bro. Head on. If you want to go to another team channel, this ain't the one, bro. Like I said, my channel, my rules. My channel, my rules. The only person I got to answer to in this channel is YouTube itself. That's my boss. My boss is YouTube, Google. That's my boss. Other than that, my content. And if people don't like my content, hey, there's plenty of channels you can go to. I'm just a guy from the Bronx. I'm a Puerto Rican guy from the Bronx that just happens to like shortwave and radio hobbies. That's it. Ain't nothing special about that. I'm not the radio scientist. That's not me, bro. Okay, so you're trying to get radio science. This ain't the channel. Say right now, this ain't the channel, bro. It ain't the channel. Jim's radio check. I love Gary's videos. He did from the front of his barn. Yeah, man, they were entertaining. So I miss Gary. I miss that guy. Get back to that. Yeah, so I miss him because of that. And he was a funny guy. He's a funny guy. And if anyone he did his with the Yesu when he was doing the contacts with his his little QRP with the little wire set up and in the back of his it was a pickup. Yeah, I think it was the back of his pickup. He would have the radio right there. He had the wire going up to the tree. I think it was like 25 feet of wire or something. And you can see him. He's having a blast. He's chuckling along. He's getting he's chuckling, giggling, He got me into getting my license. It was him. He said, man, that sounds like fun. He's making contact with that little rig and a piece of wire. That's what he did. That little rig, the Yaesu FT818, and a piece of wire up to a tree. That was it. That was his setup. And he's just giggling and laughing and making contact. And he's having fun. That's what it was all about. But I guess some people don't like that. Some people don't like that he's having fun. Party pooper people. You got those people everywhere in life. They can't see somebody having fun. They got to poo-poo the guy. Oh, but he's not very technical. Oh, he's not very, come on. You guys having fun with his radio. That's it. He's having fun with the radio. But, you're always going to have the snap ahead that, they just got to, like I say, mommy and mommy, daddy and daddy, or whatever species didn't give him a hug. Because everything now is not even gender now. It's whatever. Oh, I don't want to be called him or her or whatever. I want to be called it. I want to be called whatever. Like, they or them, whatever. They're crazy. I'm going to call it like it is. Those people are crazy. They're crazy. That's it. You're crazy. Jim's radio check. I do it for fun myself and not exactly. This is what I do here. This is for myself. This is fun. I got back to this hobby. It's to have fun. If this hobby's not fun for me, I wouldn't spend the money I spend on this. I enjoy this hobby. You understand? I'm not doing it to educate others. Of course, if people around me, my immediate people that I know, like family and friends or whatever, they ask me about something, I'll tell them what I know. But I'm not here trying to show people. I'll tell you what I know. You know, I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert. I don't claim to be an expert on any of this. Okay, I don't. Make that clear. I don't claim to be an expert on any of this. However, if I know something that, especially somebody's getting into the hobby, you know, I'll encourage them. I'll say, yeah, it's a fun hobby, and I would start out with this radio, and then, you know, don't be a snob about it. And I ran into people like that I remember when I bought this radio and this radio, I ran into somebody, the other helicopter. When I ran into somebody, he was buying off of his radio, and the guy, I told him that, because he said, because he bought some old headphone with the mic and all that, some old, it was like old vintage stuff and all, but and he was saying that, he told the other guy that he was a uh, amateur extra, whatever, So I asked him, I was thinking about the license, and then I was trying to make conversation with him, but the guy just gave me the cold shoulder, like, I just say, you know what, right back at you, bro, and that's the impression that I'm gonna say some of these hams are. Some of these hams, they're like that. Some of these people, I met a few of them. Even when I went to take the test, a couple of them were like, I could tell they were straight up, you know what? They were just snobs, and they were very rude, interrupting my tests, written tests. They kept talking. I kept looking at them, yo, you guys mind? I'm trying to take the test here with your paper and pencil bullshit. Can you at least keep it down? I don't know, they were all VEs. I thought we were supposed to have three. There were like five people there. And they could tell they well, except for the one guy that liked the CW, and he told me, he said, he was the one that told me, I don't like talking to people. I don't like chewing. He said, I just go on CW, get my contact. That's it. I don't want to talk to people. I could relate to that guy. He was the only guy that I could relate to. And the person that was giving me the test, because I spoke to him on the phone a couple of times. But I said the rest of them, I found them to be like, you know, was it like they were like, like arrogant, I don't know, like full of themselves, I don't know. So I just said, nah, And then they were, oh, we have a radio club. I said, no, thank you. I don't want to be a part of a club. I was never part of a club growing up. I don't want to be, especially at my age, I don't want to be part of a club. I don't work well with others. I enjoy my hobby because of me. Okay. I don't want to be in a radio club, and because then I gotta. What happens if I join a radio club? Then I gotta deal with their shit. I'm gonna say it like that. More people are gonna meet and deal with their problems one day. No, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. I enjoy my hobby. I'm a solitary hobby guy, and that's it. I don't care about the club stuff. I was never a Boy Scout. I was never a cadet. I was never in a school plays. I didn't care about school plays. I didn't want to be a part of school plays. And I'm 56 years old. I definitely don't want to be a part of a club. I'm sorry. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to be with people siphoning money out of me for membership dues and forget it. I don't want to deal with that. I got my own problems in my own life. And I want to join a club to deal with other people's problems? Nah, no thank you, bro. You know what? No thank you. No. Yeah. So Jim's Rage, I do it fun for myself. I'm not trying to impress nobody exactly. And you have a good channel. I subscribe to your channel. I see your channel. You got good content. And some people don't watch it. Some people watch it. That's fine. Like some people watch my stuff. Some people they don't watch my stuff, and that's fine. You know, that's it. You're not gonna. You can't. I'm not gonna be fake to bring in a few other people. That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna get that in this channel, people. I'm not gonna be fake to bring in more people in my channel. That's not gonna happen. Forget about that. If you're on the fence about you want to follow this channel, I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be fake. It's not gonna happen. I keep it real, and this is the reality about my hobby. I'm a Bronx guy. I grew up in the Bronx. I moved to Yonkers. I came back to the hobby. I enjoy my hobby, and I would like to pass that to others if they're interested in it, and that's it. It's not about anything else. I'm not here trying to educate people. A lot of that stuff is all over the place. Just like what that guy posts. You could get that in 3 paragraphs. You don't need to watch my 36-minute video. Some people like to watch those videos because they just, it's like, like I know some people like my antenna videos a lot more than my other radio videos. Some of them like the antenna videos more. Some people like the rooftop videos. Some people want to see boiler room videos more. And that's what it's all about. That's it's not about technical, whatever. Yeah, I can get that from a lot of places. Again, I could also read that on a 3-paragraph text because I know how to read. Guys, what a snapperhead that guy was, bro. You're a snapperhead, bro. Seriously, snapperhead. Jim's radio check. None of my buddies even get into radio, but I still watch my video. Yeah, my son watches my videos. I have friends that watch my videos sometime. There was one that was on my live stream a couple of weeks back. My wife got the alert, so he went through. She said, "Oh yeah, look, this is my husband doing a live stream right now. You go, and so he came on. So he said hello and then he okay. So some people in her job know that I do live streaming now. Well, they didn't know before that I had a channel. So, because that's one thing about YouTube. Believe it or not, whether it's my intention or not, there's a potential one day you can make money. I'm not saying that's not my motivation. I'm not monetized, but if I do get monetized, it doesn't help to make a couple of, a little money here and there won't hurt either. Especially, if I could you can use that money to buy another radio or some equipment, but again, it's not my motivation. Is not about that, So, a few trollers is not going to run me out of this channel. It's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. I'm going to start calling you bro because you're not my bro. You're a snapperhead. So, and you're going to have those people. There's people out there and there's people that have channels that go after other people. And that's, that's on dumb. That's their sad existence. That's on dumb. Because there's a few people like that too. I had a few people that they have channels. They have active channels, and they trolled on my channel. With when the thumbs down was more now the thumbs down doesn't work anymore. They got rid of the number of thumbs down now. They before you would see the thumbs up and thumbs down on the stream, it only show you thumb up. So I don't know who thumbed down my video. Unless I go into the studio. They'll tell me, but normally I didn't read that stuff. I never read that stuff. So they took away that thumb down stuff because of that. Because there were people that would troll. I remember there's people that would troll like Jill's channel. He'd be on for like 2 seconds. He already got a couple of thumbs down. His stream just started, he would get a thumbs down. And that's a troller. That's not that somebody went in there and in 2 seconds they decided they didn't like his video. No, that's somebody that was stalking him. And they've been thumbing down all his videos. That's all. So for you to take time to stalk somebody and thumb down all their videos, you sick in the head, bro. You got to be sick in the head to troll somebody just to thumb down their videos. I don't care. I don't care how smart that person is. And I heard it from other people. Oh, he's a smart guy. You sick in the head, bro. You sick. When you take your time to troll other people and thumb down all their videos all the time, something mentally wrong. You need to get help. There's something you're malfunctioning in some part of your brain. And that guy, forget it. You know, like it's a sad. That's sad. It's a sad. And another YouTuber calls them sad ham. Those are sad hams because you're not technical enough. You don't know. They say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." So you're the ultimate authority on ham radio. So you're gonna go around thumbing everybody's video. You're gonna take time out of your life to thumb down somebody's video. Their whole library, maybe you're going through. That's sad, bro. You sad, bro. You sad. Something mentally wrong with you. You sad. Glenn Densler, give them hell, Danny. Got to start repairing laptops for the school 73 for South Carolina. Catch you Thursday. All right, and thank you for stopping by, Glenn. I'll see you on Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern. I'll be back. Yeah, I said let me talk about this now because there's not. I can't right now. I can't even listen to much shortwave right now because it's very noisy for some reason. I'm on for 3 hours. I'm not gonna be on too much longer because 3 hours is usually what I. But let me see. I'll be on for a little bit more because I don't have anything planned for tonight. I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the night. So anybody want to chime in and talk? We'll talk for another whatever. Yeah. So I'm gonna save this for another project, but I'm not gonna do it here. If I do, I'm gonna put it. I might put that on a poll, like an inverted V or something. I may even do it with this one. Change it later on. But right now it's working fine. The NFL is working fine. Um, but I may think about doing an inverted V. But I still got to get the tuner for this radio before I start transmitting because I'm not going to transmit without a tuner. And the maker of this antenna recommends that, although I heard that you don't need a tuner when you have an MFA, you don't really. But I'm not doing that. I want to get a tuner, so I want to tune. Make sure I don't want no issues. So I have to buy the tuner, and then I'll transmit. However, right now it's cold. Now it's getting cold. So and that's another thing I haven't been doing. I have all this time in my hand. Well, not time in my hand. I've been busy. Today's one of those days I'm just gonna relax. One of those nights I'm gonna relax. Um, I need to study. I need to study on my general because I said I was gonna take it at the end of the month, but I don't think it's gonna happen now. I think I'm just gonna put that off for a while. I'm gonna put that off because I want to enjoy the holidays now. I want to decorate the tree. I was gonna do it tonight. Actually, I was gonna go. I know it's early. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're doing it before Thanksgiving." Yeah, I've done it a few times. A few times I put up a tree right before, way before Thanksgiving. So I want to do that this year. I want to put up my tree. I was gonna do it over the weekend, but then I was working on something else, and then the antenna. I wanted to do this. So I'm gonna put up a tree and all the Halloween, all the Christmas stuff. Because the Halloween stuff I didn't get to put up. And my wife got upset at me. She said, "Oh, you didn't put up. You said you was gonna put Halloween stuff up, and you didn't." So I have to make it up this time. Now I have to not only put Christmas stuff, I have to wow her. So I may put some lights outside in the backyard. Not like where Lee suggested around the tree, no. But at least on the fence, I may put some lights and things like that. Christmas stuff, lights. I have inflatables. I have big inflatables. I may put them out in the back again. I have one that's like 9 feet tall. It's the Minion. Halloween. Christmas Minion. So I may put them out there and, anchor it down with some like yard spikes, tent spikes. Then you use paracord to secure it because that thing is big. It's 9 feet tall. It's big Minion. It's huge. Yeah, 9 feet tall. So I may put them out there. So I may make a video, and when I'm in the yard, maybe in a couple of weeks, you'll see a whole bunch of big inflatables out there. But the effort, I'm going to leave it as is right now. because I'm trying to keep it stealthy. That's the main objective, was to keep it stealthy, because again, unfortunately, I'm dealing in crazy people around me. They'll report anything. They'll say, one day they'll just say, "Oh, I don't like that guy. I'm gonna report him for the wire on the tree." I'll fix him. Let me teach him a lesson. He kicked me out of the driveway, and I'm gonna teach him a lesson. I'm gonna be Karen. I'm gonna do Karen on him. My God, what's wrong with the noise today? It's 7:10. So let me go down the band a little bit. Yeah, it's really bad today. Wow. Yeah, it's really noisy. Yeah, it's really noisy. China Radio International. Okay. Yeah, it's really noisy. That's why it's good to have a loop, because see, the NFA right now is noisy, so I can switch it to MLA 30 and night to day like noise. Sometimes the NFA brings a lot of noise. It gets noisy. That's why it's good to have a loop. That's why I recommend people when they say, what's the first antenna you will buy?" Getting back to shortwave, I would say get MLA 30. Okay, my son just dropped something upstairs. Okay. Let me go upstairs and check. I have to check. Be right back. Okay. You okay? Okay. Anyway, all right. Because I just heard noise. That's why. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Anyway, he's okay. I thought maybe he might have sounded like he fell off the chair or something. He said he's fine. Although he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't like to tell me. Because sometimes like all kids do. It's a small chair. He's probably standing on the chair, but it sounded like it slid on the. He didn't like just stomp, boom. It was more like a sliding type. Like the chair might have got away. If it would have been a loud thump, then I would have probably would say, okay, you know what, need to check up on him more thoroughly. But he's okay. I think he just let the chair drop. Anyway, he's fine. Yeah, so he's upstairs playing. He's waiting for me to finish the stream so he can really stomp. And that boy, he just likes to stomp on the. He stomps so hard that this light bulb, sometimes it flickers. Okay, this light bulb will literally flicker. It will start getting loose and it flickers. Even though I secured it, but this house is so old that you know when he stomps over time, I had to tighten the light bulb every few weeks because it literally will start getting loose because of the vibration of the floor above. He's like every other kid, runs up and down. But this house is old. It's an old house. This house is going to be 100 years old. It's a very old house. And there's a charm about having an old house. But anybody thinking about buying a home, if you're not a do-it-yourselfer, don't buy an old house because there's always going to be work to be done. If you're not a do-it-yourselfer, I would look for something built later on. Year built, don't even look at anything over 50 years old. And this house was built in 19, what is it? gonna be 100. So 1924. 1924, this house was built. So if you're anybody looking to buy a home and they're not a do-it-yourselfer, don't buy a house this old because it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be so it was a lot of plumbing, old plumbing that still could be around the house in some areas. The electrical system, some of it is still old. You have to be careful with that, and that's costly. If you don't know what you're doing, that's costly. And structurally, foundation. I get my hands dirty. I mix cement. I have a cement mixer. I mix cement. I do mortar, and I patch up. Redo. There's nothing. There's nothing in this house I haven't done. Of course, I have an old furnace. I troubleshoot my furnace. I do all that myself because it's gonna cost you money. If you have to hire everybody, if you want to hire somebody to do everything that needs to be done in this house, you'll go broke. This house will be really a money pit. So that's the only advice I can give for somebody buying a house. If it's a first time homeowner, whatever, don't. If the house maybe it's just cheap, the house is cheap price because the old house. Think about how much money it's going to cost you to bring that house up to a standard. It's going to probably cost more than the house itself in the life of the house. Oh well, of the time you're going to be there. If I put a dollar amount on all the stuff that we did in this house, it'd definitely be over the tens of thousands, if not close to 100,000 total. Probably close to that, but I don't want to say close to that, but yeah, just on all the labor, material, it will add up. It will be in the tens. Definitely, is going to be over the tens of thousands. Yeah. Yeah. Let me try this radio. I think I'm telling you, just your shortwave bands right now is not good right now. Let me switch. It's better on the Satellite 800. Yeah. I gotta put the oxide on that knob again. So I didn't use this radio in a long time. And it's getting a crackling sound.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 biggie.
I have to spray this guy.
Your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT.
But I'm gonna check on the knob this time. So I bought this one. This is one I use. Contact cleaner. Because I sprayed it with the knob in it, but this time I'm gonna have to take out the knob and then get in there and spray this. It was worse. And I sprayed this is actually better, but it's coming back a little bit. So I think I need to take out the knob. So this is what I use. This is better. Much cheaper than the Deoxit brand. The Deoxit brand is way overpriced. This is like 50% cheaper than the Deoxit brand. It's the same thing. It's just the brand. I made the mistake of buying that one first. I ordered it. It was like for a can, it was like $15. It was ridiculous. And this one was like I think maybe $7. I forgot what it was, $7 or something. I'm gonna look up. I'll put the link in the show note in the description. But this one is a lot cheaper. I would just get it. Don't get the. You don't need to get that brand. That's just ridiculous. That's just overpriced. And there's videos out there that people even use something else for contact cleaner. I don't know. You can make your own contact cleaner. I don't know what people use, but definitely, I'm not. I'm not. I don't recommend buying their brand anymore. It's just too overpriced. It's ridiculous. So, who makes this? This is QRC. I mean QRC. CRC. Excuse me. CRC. And this is from. And of course, make sure it's plastic safe. That means I can spray this on plastic and it doesn't. So when you're using this type of contact cleaner, make sure it's that. Make sure it's safe for plastic. Let me put it on. Let me focus this. See if it focuses in there. Okay, its focus is not good, man. Now what the hell? Maybe I hide my mug. Focus. Instead of focusing on my mug. All right. Anyway, CRC. Contact cleaner, quick drying, plastic safe. Yeah, just make sure it's safe for plastic. I know some. I read a comment on time. Use WD-40. No, don't use WD-40. No, WD-40 will eat through that plastic and it'll actually remove the paint. You don't use WD-40. Somebody said, I remember somebody posted that a long time. You can use WD-40 for everything. No, you can't. Even to clean your radio. Use WD-40. No, you don't use WD-40. No. I only use WD-40 for my locks, that type of thing. But for radios, I don't use WD-40. Do not use that. You're going to ruin your radio. You ruin the plastic. If the radio has plastic, you're going to ruin the plastic. That thing is very WD-40 can be corrosive. It will eat through plastic. It will take the paint out. I never done it, but I know the comment says tell me no WD-40. That's way too strong. This stuff you spray it, it dries right away. So it's like alcohol. Like I support alcohol, 70% or 80%, 90%. The minute it makes contact and it dries up, it's fast drying. So no, don't do WD-40, people, please. Do not do that. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna upload the video later for the I have a couple of reception videos I was gonna upload. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. I'll be back Thursday at 4 o'clock. It's 7:22 p.m. here in Yonkers, New York. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna relax for the rest of the night and make something to eat. And thank you, Bobby, for stopping by, and thank you everybody else for stopping by. And like I said, be good to each other, be kind to each other. Don't be trolling like this idiot snap ahead. Be good to each other. The world will be a lot better place where people are very kind to each other. And I'm gonna leave that with that note. I'm gonna leave. So take care, everybody. Have a good night. I'll see you Thursday. Take care. Bye bye.